Do you want the Star Wars trilogy and the mythology to go beyond your lifetime?
No. 3 will be the last film, and it'll be a 6-part series, and that'll be the end of it.
Incorrect.
You're not mentoring someone to take over for you?
No, it's...
Automatic defense procedures initiated.
There may be other venues for it, but not in the theatrical release.
Affirmative.
Well, I don't want to have it just sort of turn into Star Trek. Well, I don't want to have it just sort of turn into Star Trek.
Well, hello there, everybody. It's me, your buddy, Admiral Teague. It's good to see you out there. Hello, and welcome to the show. We got some information and some videos for you tonight. It's good to see all of you, and for all of you who are coming through later, welcome. I'm going to be serving it up for a couple hours here. I got some good stuff for you. Did a little research, spent today preparing for the live stream, and you know what? I'm hoping that you'll tweet out off the browser that I'm live. And hey, you know what? We got the CSI logo up in the corner. Let's take that down. Let's put up the old Admiral Teague logo. I just ran through the door of the studio, virtually speaking, as the show started. It's good to see people out there, and hopefully we'll have a few more people coming through the door. But you know what? Like I said, if you're coming through later, leave me a comment, ask me about anything that you want from the show, or just leave an emoji. It helps the show to really grow. The comments very much help, and I respond to each and every one. So at that rate, you know, with all that out of the way, hello everybody, welcome to my living room studio here in New York. I just had someone come to my door and try to tell me to vote for a communist to run for our mayor. I told the very nice young lady who was hot that, you know what, looks like the creep Cuomo is going to be the winner. So, you know what, we're just going to have extra cops on him, and maybe the first all lesbian, all female bodyguard brigade just to keep Cuomo under control. Can you imagine? Mr. Mayor, please back down, sir. It's all on body cam, sir. Mr. Mayor, sir, please, sir. We're all lesbians. We want nothing to do with you, sir. Sir, you're not only are you an unappealing hairy-backed bastard, please, sir. But you know what? I want to talk to you about something that's near and dear to all of our hearts, and that is our pop culture. Welcome to everybody. We're going to talk a little bit about something I saw today that was just absolutely hackneyed and boring and borrowed and retest. So let's do the small part first, because there's a lot to the small part. The director of this Fantastic Four movie, and we got another trailer for today, and man, whoa, the Fantastic Four trailer isn't just bad. It's outright tough to watch. It might even look worse in context to what it is than Snow White. I do not think I can sit through this movie, guys. I don't think I got it in me. And, oh, hey, RRTN said, whoa! Our co-host from the other night. I'm calling out misinformation and lies about female Silver Surfer, including from Google AI. She's his girlfriend and only ever appeared once as the Surfer, and she didn't surf, I don't think. In 2000, 99% of the time the Silver Surfer's a dude. Yeah, Namron Rue, whatever. Like, it's no longer wrong to call the Fox movies kind of watchable, and now they're only relatively bad considering. I didn't mind those movies in context to what we were getting at that time. They were building rather firmly. It was only the fact that X-Men was probably done a bit better. Hello, Buddy Hepburn. Hello, RRTNZ. Hello, Dave C. Hello to our good friend, Mr. House Party 6, who got here first. And hello to my friend Narc of the House of X. Narc of on X. It's Narc _ of on X. You get it. You see it there. You understand. Words are hard. Narc is cool. He's like one of the first people who started talking to me when I created the Admiral Teague account 3 years ago now. And he just draws beautiful starships all day. And today's his birthday. And Doomcock wished him a happy birthday. And who am I but a humble servant of the Star Trek community? And Narc draws some beautiful starships. He does a lot of great stuff. Beautiful ships from the Star Trek universe, all beautiful, fun to look at, very technical. He's fun. It's a fun X tweet every day to look at. His posts are great. So consider checking him out. He's a great guy. Hey, Outlaw Bill, it's good to see my buddy Outlaw Bill. When are we going to call a baseball game, huh? When are we going to call a baseball game? I've been a fan of Silver Surfer since 1980, says RRTNZ. He's always been a dude. Norris Rad, yes, but tons of shills out there on social media are saying there's always been a female Silver Surfer. I call bullshit and lies. Yeah, you know what? It looks like we're going to have to gatekeep this franchise a little harder, and looks like we may have gone a bit too far in a few places talking about the original Fantastic Four, which I thought were Sony, but were actually Fox. The reason why I thought they were Sony is because the Marvel universe was kind of divided between the two of them, with Spider-Man being the one that was mostly on Sony, right? Because it's the bigger one. And then Fox, whatever, they had some good superheroes too. But
I don't care.
That has gotten around, and everybody knows that as far as these movies go,
You've gone too far in a few places.
We may have gone a bit too far a few too many times in all these different places. And the thing is that we're wondering now is, what does God need with the starship? Why? Why bother? Why do we need this? This Fantastic Four movie, it looks like it's very poorly rendered. Do they have time to fix the thing? His head really is too small. They said that on Open Bar. They got that one. I didn't. I thought he looked like a pile of chicken nuggets. Okay, that's my problem with the thing. But they're right. His head's smaller than Pedro's. I don't know what the hell's going on with that. It looks really, really bad. In my opinion, there are many Heralds of Galactus. There's only one Silver Surfer. Yeah. So they kind of mashed up two characters together. I'm fired. Outlaw Bill, I will not take this upbraiding in the chat. Outlaw Bill is a great YouTuber. I recommend his channel. He and I have done many streams together, and he seems to be a little fired up today. Buddy, I hope you're feeling all right, and I hope you're doing well. Everyone, you should sub to Outlaw Bill's channel. He's a great guy and a friend of mine. Seems to be having a bit of a day today, though. Was it because you watched the Silver Surfer video? And I hope I'm not far from the Ocho. But if I am, hey, I'll just do more stuff here. Listen, I want to start with talking about what's going on with this movie. I sense, it's my opinion, and I'm not an investigator here, guys, and RRTNZ, you're going to love this. I think that this is a scam. All right. Yeah. RRTNZ. I'm sorry. Norman Rad. Yeah. I thought it was Norman. Norman Reedus was the Silver Surfer, right? I'm so. I'm sorry, guys. It's like kind of sinusy weather here in the Northeast, so I'm sinusing out. So, hello over on the Green Bend, where I hope people will catch up, and hello where we're doing okay over on the YouTubes. Do me a favor. Okay, cool. Well, you have a habit of flipping out. Anyway, cool. I'm glad you're only kidding. It's good to see you. Fantastic Four does look terrible, and I am prepared to share evidence of that with you right now. I'm your buddy Admiral Teague, but more than that, I am your protector in the pop culture world, right? I mean, I get it. We can all look out for ourselves, but man, this Fantastic Four trailer, we finally found out what the first steps thing means. The first steps thing is that bitch be pregnant. Okay, she's knocked up. So the whole thing with her is Sue Storm is with child. And by the way, when you see people show up and call them out, she is really, really, really preggers. And maybe like 11 months gone. Like, she looks to be preggers. It seemed to be in the medium shot where she was the one who challenged Galactus. I wrote this down. These are the things we heard from Pedro Pascal. In order. You ready? It's my fault. I can't. There's no time. We will protect you. Galactus is really just a kaiju in this, too. Sorry, guys. I have to mute every once in a while. The cough. It is pollen season. Let's see. Shalabal, who they want us to accept as the Surfer, was the real Surfer's girlfriend. Yes, he talks about her to Jessica Alba, who is now the better Sue Storm. I don't know what the problem was with Jessica Alba. She was certainly beautiful enough. I think it was Appion who said that the last person you ever want to make invisible. And you know what? I don't like this soy Johnny fucking Storm. He's a loser. He looks like a loser. I didn't find the trailer to be enjoyable, and we're going to get into why it's bad. Sorry, guys. I was so angry there that I just punched my microphone. What can I tell you? Do me a favor. If you're watching me on X and you're good enough to, thank you so much, all 8 of you, piling into the room and kind of filling it up. You know what? Do me a favor. Could you tweet out off the browser onto X that I'm live? It wakes up YouTube and it brings in a couple of people from X. It's actually more about YouTube than it is about X, but I think the AI from YouTube now measures social media. By the way, I checked myself out on Grok. I guess, let's see. We'll get to that next. Right now, I guess the first thing we should do is we should deal with this Silver Surfer trail. I'm sorry, this flamtastic, floptastic foreplay that we're in here. This looks terrible. And this guy is the Dan Gilbert show, or whatever, the Ted Gilbert show. They're at least, what am I supposed to feel good about? They were at least smart enough to get a fake talk show host instead of a real one, because the real talk show hosts are now falling heavily out of favor in the world. And hell, guys, you can help me by liking the stream and polarizing the hall. Even you guys coming through later, it still really helps out a lot. And I think I dropped one F-bomb, but maybe we'll see if I can't get to the 15-minute mark without cursing again. You know what? I am looking at the screen here, and I'm looking at the Fantastic Four trailer, as are you. And I'll embiggen it for you so you can have a better look at it. But it was unremarkable in a lot of ways. I mean, are we supposed to be wowed? No one's seen this perspective in life before. It's just supposed to bring us into it. I did notice we have an analog teleprompter here with actual, teleprompts on paper that just kind of scroll past. I guess they used these first. I thought they were using cue cards up to the 80s. So I guess, I don't know, they're trying to say it's a different world. And this, loser here goes, we all know the story of the 4 brave astronauts who go into space and they come back and they're not the same no more. And, and this is the point where you really start to get sick and disengage. I think Fletcher said a big pile of chicken nuggets. He's not proportionate. He seems inconsistent. I don't care that it's 1962 retro future. I don't care. I don't. I really don't care. You fooled me with that once in WandaVision. The director is named Matt Shakman. Matt Shakman's resume is as follows. Matt Shakman has done. Maybe he did an episode 2 Secret Invasion, but Matt Shakman has done these things. He did WandaVision. He did a show that I really liked called Children's Hospital. But Children's Hospital, your job is to turn on the camera and just say action. And then say maybe we should shoot that again from another angle. But it was an improv comedy show. We've all seen it with Rob Kudry, Children's Hospital, and Henry Winkler. It's funny. But and I like the show, but I don't see how that qualified him to do WandaVision. In WandaVision, the story was worse than the direction. He had something going on there. It had a look to it, especially the ones that happened, in the past TV shows. So that's his thing. He goes with that. But it seems like Matt Shakman might be a one-trick pony because the rest of this narratively was sort of a disaster. And as I said, we get these things from Pedro in order. It's my fault. I can't. There's no time. We will protect you. And he says, we will protect you after Sue puts him back on task 2 or 3 times. And if you notice, it's a nice touch to the aesthetic, but I don't think that this guy is going to get any more than an aesthetic. If you notice, we're doing something with the blues. All the blues are the same. Every white is the same. We're putting a lot of blue and a lot of white together. There's only one off-brand blue there, and I don't know if that's a mistake or the part of the location, but we have put quite a few of these very 1960s Met uniform blues onto this street, and it's it seems to be around this truck and whatever. It's hey, D. Bud Martin, it's good to see you, my friend. It seems to me that these people are far more interested in showing us an aesthetically pleasing than logical or good future. So then we see the next thing. It's all the 4 brave astronauts went into space and were forever changed. And that's when we see everyone watching them in the TV window as though they were watching something of importance. And everyone's got their early 60s kind of hat, which is making a comeback. And everyone kind of is contemporary to the Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer cartoon. And whatever, the shot looks good. I'll give them that. The cinematography is something that you can, get someone to help you with. This is working as far as the look of it, but it's the things we're hearing and the tropiness of it, and Sue Storm being in charge, and we see Sue Storm and Pedro kiss, and she's the one who goes in for the kiss, and she's the one telling everyone everything, and it seems like everyone's just it's like Sue's world, and we just live in it. Yeah, he does sound like they haven't dropped yet. Yeah, I don't understand why. It sounds like Gort from the Thor movies, doesn't it? And here we see, we see Peyton Manning with his wife, and everyone's got it's very 60s. Everyone's very dressed very Mr. Rogers. Yeah, someone has said that they super chatted it to, was it Midnight's Edge? Maybe it was Midnight's Edge, or was it Doomcock last night, that the best Fantastic Four-ish movie was The Incredibles? I gotta be inclined to go with that, and it looks like we're starting to have people pile up in X, so hello? I have to keep looking back over my shoulder for the X, and it makes for a weird sound experience. I re-listened to one of the shows last night for quality control. I do it from time to time. We got another deck and returned that one really quick. Woo! Was that bad and garbagey? And let's see. It's good to see everyone exchanging friendly hails. And let's see. Retro hipster. Yeah, that might be another way of putting it. Heath Ledger's Joker wants to know when Ben Grimm's balls dropped off. Let me tell you how he got these scars. They dropped right the hell off. Yeah, you know what? It was said a couple of times in Midnight's Edge too. Yeah, you know what? I love Midnight's Edge, and I got to talk to Tom and Andre, and I can tell you that Tom and Andre have not known what to make of this Paramount situation. Have been upfront about it, and when I said to them, "Would you agree with me and join with me in calling this off-brand Star Trek and unauthorized Star Trek?" And I think Tom sounded surprised because it was kind of assertive for me, but I was fired up. I was angry about this. And what happened was, for the first time really in the Star Trek conversations, except when he got angry about how annoying it is to try to get information when the company doesn't know what it seems to be doing, Andre had enthusiasm in his voice when I said, would you call this off-brand, unauthorized Star Trek? And he said, absolutely yes. And he was very, very enthusiastic about it. In my opinion, his voice seemed to take on some passion, because I think maybe I might have helped him put something together, or he had been thinking that and it was validated. I mean, he's a better mind than I'll ever have, but the fact was, we got that from him. But, doubling back a little bit to this Fantastic Four trailer, as we can see, it is what it is. And the more I think about it, the more I think that there's no way I can sit through this movie. It honestly, again, looks a little bit worse, honestly, than Snow White. It's got 75% of the votes. Thunderbolts has a vote, and it also looks like we got a vote for the Superman movie seems undamaged. Superman movie not looking... I guess we might skew heavily Marvel on this channel. Maybe we're Marvel guys. I don't know. I don't know. Dave, you tell us. You're the comic lore expert of the channel, Dave. Tell us, Dave, see if we are we a Marvel channel or are we DC channel? We split down the middle. I don't know. We might be Marvel people. But hello. And hello, we got some people starting to show up over on the Green Band. I welcome you. Use some of those emojis. It's great to see everyone here. We're talking about this Fantastic Four trailer that dropped, and I'm going to advance it a little more. Now, it is weird. It's not good. We have these things in them. This thing reminded me of Dio, or from Rise of Skywalker. They had these retarded things in there. And I mean, it is retarded. I mean, here's Johnny Storm. He is a moron. I mean, and here's Sue Storm. He goes, "You're late," and she's like, "Ah, what do you mean? What do you mean I'm late?" I mean, look at this guy. He's a British cigarette. Honestly, what is with this guy? And he's trying to be glib. Someone called it glib. I agree with the categorization of glib. I do tend to use that term a lot myself, because glib is the best way to sum up this last 2 or 3 phases of Marvel. We've burned through phases really fast. We've tried to shuffle the phase and pretended like that made a difference. I am not excited by this at all. So he's like, "Oh wow, you're pregnant." And the thing, yeah, his head's just too small. The drinker got it, or maybe it was Dark Hour. You guys, you got it. His head's too small. His head's too small. His head's too small. It doesn't make any sense. It's not cool. It doesn't work, and it seems to be a stick. And by the way, yes, this female Silver Surfer will get to her, my friend. Your super chat did not fall on deaf ears, and thank you for underwriting the show. No commercials during the live stream. I'm considering leaving monetization off for the replays too. This show does really well in replays, and right now, with the way we keep getting hit with the withering beam, which I may have found a way to fend off. I think I might have found a way to fend off the withering beam that people have been hitting the channel with. We'll find out. But so there we go. I mean, look at this outfit. Let's see what it's like when he moves. Look at a half second of movement. Yeah, look at that. His mouth just it's still as bad as it was when we watched it with Fletcher. It's still as bad as it was when we watched it with Fletcher. The lips move a little more. They're slightly more articulated than I remember, but it's still terrible. So it's like, "Oh, you'll be the best mom, and we're going to be the best uncles." And then we see this thing over in the sky over retro futuristic Manhattan, which is it sucks, to be honest with you. It looks to me like I've seen this done better in a movie called Independence Day. Independence Day? Remember Independence Day? We will not go quietly into the night. We will... What? Who have you been at war with? Idiots and liars. Oh, about this movie, RRTNZ? And Dave, you know what? You want to go to war? Get Dave C. on your side. He likes to bring justice to the comic book world. You know what? So here we have this weird Independence Day effect. And then whatever, we got retro futuristic Manhattan. Yay! Yay! Is everybody proud? Look at that. And here she comes. Here she comes. Now, I had some comments highlighted. Let's see. RTN says Shalabal, they want us to accept as the surfer was the real surfer's girlfriend. There are hundreds of appearances of the Silver Surfer. I would say thousands. And only one of Shalabal as the surfer. Yeah. I mean, and we all know that it was, the real surfer and not Shalabal, who was being discussed in Crimson Tide, which came up also on Open Bar today. Which, hey, you know what? How great of a show do you have when watching Open Bar as your preparation? I kind of had to work through Lance's show getting ready for this, but Open Bar is part of my prep because, damn it, they used all my jokes. I guess it was low hanging fruit, but like the women in space, Drinker was right on. Like the the two Latino ladies, like I was looking at them and they had both had the same kind of face stuff done, right? And I had to look really hard, and their hair extensions were covering their names. That's how silly it was. And, the only person, honestly, out of all of them, this is going to sound crazy because they didn't sound very smart either, but Katy Perry was the only person who had the appropriate look on her face. I think after, or it was either right before or right after. It doesn't matter. It was still the most appropriate look of anyone. Like Gail King and the other black lady, they also had similar looks, but they're both, I think one of them was wearing sunglasses and the other one's looking off to the side, so they weren't easy to figure out which one was which, but they had some work done. And, like the white lady, okay, she's the white lady, I get it. And then Katy Perry's the other white lady, and I could kind of guess who Katy Perry was, but Katy Perry just looked like she was confused why she was there and also a little concerned. Looked like she had done the most time considering the implications of what was done. Sanchez, Lauren Sanchez does what Bezos, tells her to, I guess. She's not, she's going to blow up. It's going to be an expensive thing. There'll be a Lauren Sanchez university somewhere one day if that happens. Okay, yeah, I got that one. It looks terrible. And here comes Silver, what is Boomcock is calling her Silver Surfette? I'm calling her Silver Surfer because this is what these people are about. And by the way, this is why I know this director is not up for this. He did a few episodes of It's Always Sunny. He did WandaVision, and then he was the last person attached to what became the biggest joke of all time, Star Trek 4, JJ Trek 4. With the writer from Captain Marvel. And there's a Captain Marvel shot in this trailer when Johnny Storm falls down backwards out of the sky. He doesn't seem to be on fire. I'm going to guess he doesn't realize he can catch fire until he falls halfway back to Earth, like Captain Marvel does. So it's be like his... Instead of abandoning the trope because it didn't work with Captain Marvel, they're going to use it on a man and then say it's good. That was Times Square. See, look, she looks knocked up here, doesn't she? She looks like she's got fashionable maternity clothes on. Everyone's just a little, and then the thing's head bigger here than it was before, but still not right. Why has he got a suit on of everybody? He's made of goddamn rocks. You're taking your futurism a bit too far. When I see the thing in clothes, usually it's an overcoat, right? That was unexpected. Yes, the people defending it are saying, go read a comic, it's established. But that's disingenuous bullshit because 99% of the comics, he's a fucking dude. You can tell I'm angry about this. Yeah, well, I'm here on your side about it, guys. This is your show. This is your voice. You guys in my community have come through for me again and again. You've come through on the rewatches. You've come through on the live watches. You've come through on Star Trek. This week, I'm not expecting a crazy big Star Trek, but you know what? Let's face it. We got a lot of people from the same community breaking out and sharing subs. There's a significant overlap. We try to coordinate. We do the best we can. I just hope Saturdays come to the Saving Star Trek stuff because that's really what we're all about, on Saturdays. And we have kept up a tradition that goes back all the way to Trek itself. So, we're keeping the flame on that one now. But right now, let's look at first of all, their retro futuristic car. It doesn't look functional. Is it supposed to fly? Is it the Stark Industries car that never was made? Why does it have gamer chairs in it? There's too many. The more you look at this, the more I hate it. It doesn't hold up to analysis. It looked good at first glance, like most of this stuff did. And look, the street's wet because the wet street, it always looks cool. In every car commercial, the street's always wet. You could tell, this guy Matt Shackman probably made a few car commercials. I'm drinking in this aesthetic or lack thereof. It's not so great. Anyway, Here we have it again. Same shot. Looking down at Times Square. We got helicopters diving on Manhattan. This was the part I was talking about. So Silver Surfer, okay, yeah, he is in flames, all right. He flies up, and I guess, are we supposed to believe he goes out because he's in the upper atmosphere? Is that consistent? And then he falls, and like we've seen this in Iron Man, and we've seen this in Captain Marvel. So he does the Marvel fall, and then this is where Pedro says, I don't know. This was dumb as shit. This couldn't have looked dumber. Is this the retest set from Loki too? Is this the set from Loki? Is this the Loki set? Yeah, the Thing sounds horrible. It's Gort. He acts like Gort from the Thor movies. They put something in the comic in the last 5 to 15 years and acts like it's been that way since the 50s. Yeah, I think it's like 10 years ago that chick showed up, maybe 15. No, it was around in time. It might be 20 years old because it was around in time for the '07 lore, but like that was now. We're going to have to call that the fun movie. This movie didn't look like it had a lot of fun. It looked like it was here to preach at us and have like the end of the worldishness about it again. Yeah, it does. It has retest sounding music. Corman's Fantastic Four is a masterpiece next to this. Hello, Mark. You might be right. The 2005 and 2007 movies look decent now. They got more right than wrong. I'm being honest with you. The only thing they got wrong to me is Appion said it first. Hey, JT. Appion said it first. They got more right than wrong. And also, you know what? At least they seem. The only thing wrong with them is that Jessica Alba is the last person in the world you want to have be invisible. But there you go. She was invisible. Aside from that, it worked out pretty good. I see JT's there. I don't know how free JT is, but I threw a pass in the Enterprise channel chat. If anybody from the panel wants to jump on. If you notice, one of the things we can't do is get the panel together all the time, which is why I've noticed that we have made it up to like 160 or 70 views since the show put on. We had like it's going to be low live views because there are religious holidays, and then there's opportunities and risk in streaming, probably a lot more in reviews than live views. When people go live, they go live, but like not a lot of people are going to be as live as much in that last few days and the next couple of days as people make their way to, from, and home from this Las Vegas Comic-Con, which is big. So yeah, so here's Reed Richards, the smartest man in the world. I think this is where he says, I can't do it. I don't have enough time. I'm too much of a freaking loser. And then I guess, yeah, there they are getting the baby's room ready. So now we have a whole new context of this stupid yeah, it was that I couldn't tell the two Latino women. I had to like really look hard and try to peer through their extensions at their names. Then I could tell which one was Lauren Sanchez. It just went, which one has more surgery? And then, of course, it was, the better surgery. Then I guess one of them was an actual scientist, but it was come on. And hello to you, number 1969. Shalabal was the surfer in Earth X from 2000. It was an alternative universe story and featured a few pages of Shalabal as a surfer. Nothing compared to hundreds of issues with Norrin Rad and like hundreds of guest appearances. Don't forget that. Now, so that would mean that lore was like 7 or 8 years old when they used it in the '07 Surfer movie, and it's 25 years old, about what I guessed. So yeah, it's not new, but like compared to the age of the franchise, and also like not really a Stan Lee centric idea. Stan Lee starting to really move out of it at that point and be out of it at that point, unfortunately. And hello to the Dead Man, hello to JT Kirk, my friend, and hello to Krimwan, they're out to get me, Krimwan, I didn't want to take you away from your family, but should you want to escape from them, I have put into your StreamYards, Krimwan, there's a pass for you in the StreamYards, in the X. I have X'd it to you into your X mailbox should you want to come on. This Fantastic Four trailer, as you can see, we're almost done with it. There's a lot of credits and crap at the end. Like first of all, this trailer was a full-length trailer, so at least it didn't insult us with the mini trailer for the trailer up front. So here we go. We're still looking at the first steps is now about their child, And now this whole movie is just a referendum, I guess, on motherhood. I don't know what to tell you. It's not looking all that good for the Fantastic Four movie. I think today was a pivotal day with this longer trailer. I think everyone hated it. The car matches their uniforms, so what? I mean, really, so what? Matt Shackman. Is there even a car? Is it just like a green pipe frame? This looked uncanny. I'll risk a moment of it again. See, I guess, I don't know if that's for their trailer with the hero walking on slow-mo. Here he is saying, I can't do it again. I can't do it. Now, Doomcock said that he thought that Pedro looked like he had a really, well-groomed mustache, and he was really well-groomed. In this role, he is well-groomed. It's in general, Pedro is not all that well-groomed. When he's not working, then that mustache gets out of hand, and it's beefy and greasy. And in this role, I'm sorry, I'm not saying this to extend any stereotype. I am also Latino, okay? I am also Latino, okay? All right, I am Latino as well. I am like Rachel Ziegler, or maybe more like Charlie Sheen, okay? And is Charlie Sheen not Latino, and Emilio Estevez is, right? And remember, Martin Sheen is twice as Latino as they are. So I'm Latino. I'm lily white, literally on this one. Ready? Why does Pedro look like he fucking swam through vegetable oil all the time? Including in this. There are moments here and there where he looks coiffed and put together, and other times where he looks terrible. Let's talk about this Fantastic Four movie that turns Galactus into a kaiju. And everyone's greeting each other. It's good to see. We have a great community. And to everyone coming through later, again, thank you guys so much. You're the lifeblood of keeping us alive, especially under all these attacks and with the problems we've been having on YouTube. What can I tell you? The only reason I want to see this film is because Galactus, voiced by Ralph Ineson, will be the same accent as Northern English Bastard from Yorkshire. Let's talk for a moment about our friend Northern English Bastard. I like Northern English Bastard. I like his work. He gave me a whopping homework assignment that I have been working on for the entire month of April, and I have made substantial progress, but I don't know if I'm going to be able to watch all 7 seasons of Red Dwarf and also be able to do the entire season 2 of Miami Vice and still be able to do my own pop culture work. That was some hefty homework, but I will say this, man, that Red Dwarf is freaking hilarious. I can't get enough of that one. That one's the easy one to watch. I'm more like Sheen. Buy winning and try winning. Yes, they should try winning, and I'm buy winning. And Carlos Estevez, yeah, that's his real name. Exactly. And it's all a matter of opinion. And we'll be talking a little more about Latinos and takes later, because I saw some stuff from a show that I haven't been watching, but also, of course, has to have Pedro in it, because you have to have Pedro in everything these days. You have to have Pedro. It's like a rule. What is he? Is he also gay? Is that what it is? Does he check that box as well? I feel like Dakota Johnson is safe. And watching Don Johnson, I mean, I don't know who's prettier, Don Johnson or Dakota Johnson, and I'm not gay. I'm saying when I watch Miami Vice, the second season, he's got eyeshadow on. He's perfectly coiffed. They make him out to be, he's like the prettiest man you ever seen. And now, coming to the stage to join me, I have a friend of mine. It's Krimwan. Krimwan, welcome.
Thanks for having me. It's debatable. It's debatable that you're gay. Come on.
Fuck you. It is absolutely not debatable. I have not. If I was gay, I would have so much more money and twice the clothes. I mean, every reason to give it a try. I mean, I'm not one to judge people on what they want to do, and I don't care if people are. But you know what? I haven't even been tempted to try it. Just like the mere words, a man's stubbly brow against your upper lip is enough to gross you out. It's like I know for sure that that's not my thing. But you know what? If it's for you, go for it. I don't really care. You know what? It's been a hell of a week with those women in space. We talked about that a little bit, but these people went to space too, Krimwan. And I'm asking you, does this look like the face of the smartest man in the entire world?
That is a no.
Yeah. I mean, is it me, or does Pedro sometimes look like he swam through vegetable oil to get to the red carpet? And he dresses like a fucking asshole.
Ooh, well, I mean, not just dresses, but I mean, there's pretty much
Come on,
everything
Mark.
about him.
Mark says we're Galactus intolerant. Katy Perry and that crew, and all I thought to myself was pigs in space. I'll tell you this, Dr. Julius Von Strangepork did all of that plastic surgery. Man, the two Latino ladies had the same procedures, and I couldn't tell which one was which. The two black ladies, they're like in fabulous poses, and one of them was wearing sunglasses, so I was like, their hair extensions are covering their names too. I don't know which one's which. And then Katy Perry just had this blank expression of like, she was the only one who seemed to be appreciating that she was sitting on a bomb. And the pretty lady who was a scientist, who was still pretty, she was kind of cute. She was the most natural and cute looking one out of all of them. Looked like she was, happy to be able to go as a space tourist. She seemed to have some perspective, but I don't know what kind of scientist she is. But one lady looked like she had. I mean, I'm reading it the looks here, but one lady seemed to have perspective. The two Latino ladies, their faces were so frozen I couldn't read them. They looked confident but mildly amused. It was a utilitarian expression. They give the people whose faces they're going to freeze with Botox, I guess. And then behind them, Katy Perry had this blank look of like, I'm still relevant, and why I'm sitting on this giant bomb. She was the only, it was like, wow, Katy Perry might be the second smartest person there next to that lady who's some kind of scientist.
All that squealing that happened while they were falling, I mean, yeah, it's a pretty good description of pigs in space.
Did they mic them up and they were like giddy like schoolgirls? Is that what it was?
Oh yeah, there was lots of squealing coming from that capsule as it was falling through the sky.
By the way, look at this. We have 9.5 million views in 12 hours. So it's doing great as far as that goes. So there's interest.
This is going to be a horrible, horrible movie from what it looks like.
I feel like that they have a good way of saying, like, this next last shot will be the last shot that saves us. Like, they have that message down because they've done it so many times. So they're able to get like that seed planted in like the subconscious. So anyway, here we go. Smartest man in the world. Of course he's Latino, right, Claremont? You're Latino too. You don't care. Of course we're the smartest people in the world, right, Claremont?
Yes. Oh yes.
Yeah.
We're geniuses.
I see myself in Pedro. I keep wanting to call him Pedro Martinez. I keep seeing myself in Pedro Pascal here, but except like I'm a more showered, even-featured, handsome, and intelligent person. And here we have her. Let's risk a moment of motion. Look, he moves. So here comes Kaiju Galactus, right? Oh no! And then we have the slow motion hero walk. And there she is, ladies and gentlemen. There she is.
God.
She's not even shapely. She's not even shapely.
Character.
Of course, they were. I knew it when they announced the movie that they would find a way to gender swap a lot of people. I thought Human Torch would be female.
Yeah, but this gender swap was from like what, 15 years ago, from the comics. So yeah, you're right. They had to go with the one that was bombed in the comics. So might as well do it in the movies.
Someone said this. I think it was Nerdrotic, that there were lots and lots of good stories left with the heroes that they had, but they had jumped over them to get to the terrible stories that failed in the 90s and 2000s.
Yeah, I don't understand that. I guess it's just all political preference at this point.
Were we so politicized at a comic book level in the year 2000 that they had to do this?
Well, they did start along with everything going, hardcore political left around, I want to say it was 2010, if not a little earlier.
But this is 2000 that this character was invented. See, I'm thinking that 2010, yeah. What happens was after Bill Clinton, the left continues to over-succeed even while George W. Bush is president. It was even like a little better for them because they were able to cut his balls off right away as president. And he just didn't do much. And also, like, I don't know if he really had a huge pair. Like, it didn't take the biggest scissors in the world to do that. Are we talking about this Virginia Kirby lady? Or Vanessa Kirby? She seems... I don't know, she seemed nice enough, but I hear there's like now an interview where she's talking about the gender politics. But of course, Disney decides who says what in their publicity tour. So I kind of feel like, again, it's pandering and they set her up to be bashed by people because she's going to carry the most unpleasant message of the movie. So yeah, ooh, that's it. I guess we got a black screen. Oh, here we go. Look at this.
All I see.
This does not look as good as 1991's Terminator 2.
I just see shapes.
Yeah, it's like bad. I'm in a K-hole. She doesn't even look... Guys, she looks better on the smaller screen than she looks on the one that I can see her on. And then, like, he's like, I can't do it. I'm a loser. I don't have time. I'm such a piece of crap. And she's like, you'll be okay. I'll help you through it because we're a family.
It's a good thing he doesn't have to play into that role since, I mean, he really is a loser. And pretty much all of it, so no acting.
In our opinion. Yeah, in our opinion. You know what? That's the thing. He has become typecast as this like ultimate sort of beta male, as they say in Europe. And since RRTNZ had the show's only super chat, I'm going to use his language and say he was a beta male. This way, since the show's set to American English, they won't know that I'm saying the other word that they don't like, the word between alpha and SETI. I haven't seen such darkened action scenes since Discovery. Yeah, I know. It's ridiculous, right? It's bacon! Is that what you're saying about as far as the Silver Surfer? Are you calling her a dog? Because I will. I mean, she's not a... It's like... Go ahead.
I mean, they can always go straight up lens flares like certain Star Trek.
Well, this guy is a disciple of J.J. Abrams, and I had mentioned it before. It's funny you should bring it up again. And I want to thank you for being here. It's always easier to have it's really a lot easier to have a co-host. I'll freeball it and go solo. But if people I know and trust show up and can do it, I'll have them over. I didn't want to invite you on because I didn't want to like cut into your day because I think it's like dinner time where you are. But if you got the time.
Yeah. It's no big deal. I love freeballing anyway. Freeballing's fun.
There you go. The way I see it, I've always said this, I'm Ozzy Osbourne. You know, if I have to go out there and bite the head off a bat by myself, I'll do it. But if I have Black Sabbath behind me, you know, then I'm still a threat as well, just a different kind. But, you know, please, guys, tweet out that I'm live. Let's let people know. We got lots of choices tonight. Let's see if we can at least get some people to cycle through here. I would like to see a stronger analytic on the old YouTube, but it seems like YouTube a little less anxious to let people know you're around when there's things going on and choices, and also when you don't turn on the old AdSense. They sent me a questionnaire asking why I don't use the AdSense, and the real reason is I cannot trust them to protect me from the forces that destroyed other channels. Like my friend's channel got hacked and spun up and was made to feed out spam, and they don't give a shit that he had nothing to do with it, and they can't verify it, and he's just lost his channels.
Ugh. That's horrible.
I said to him, yeah, it is horrible because he was a great YouTuber, and I said, Appion, you got to start another channel. And I said, and he said, sir, if they could do this to me, they could do it to anyone, sir. And he was right. I'm in fear, and I hope that Appion finds a platform that he can be on because he's a great YouTuber and he was a great movie reviewer. Is a great movie reviewer. Maybe he'll come on for an episode of Strange New Worlds. He was great on that, but we were all saddened by that one. So every minute of this trailer, I'm more and more just outright annoyed. Matt Shackman, the director of WandaVision, Always Sunny in Children's Hospital, was the last person associated with J.J. Kelvin Trek 4. So that's what we got going with this one. He's the Kelvin J.J. guy. And so by the time he was associated with the movie, it had been announced 7 or 8 times as being coming out that year. It was really late. It was late for being late. It was like spinning through directors. It was spinning through story groups. The Rings of Power people were off of it. It might have been better, but then they threw the Captain Marvel writer on it and this schmuck. And it feels like there was never anything to it. And like that one was the biggest con of all. So lens flare probably will be in this because I'm thinking he's going to need to do that. And of course he's doing hardcore like Generation 10 fucking feminism again because we don't have enough of that. This part was dumb. I guess he's collapsing a building. It looks to me like they just wanted the visual. This is the only moment we get of them using their powers. Of course, they're destroying my city. Kremlin, they're destroying my city again.
Not much was lost.
Fuck you. I have to live here.
But you live in Jersey. Come on.
Why does it look like she's holding this all together for them? And why does she look like she's like 50 years old?
Yeah, she does look pretty horrible there.
Is this ugly on purpose? She's a beautiful woman. I've seen pictures of her, unless she's pretty by mistake. I mean, I don't get it. It looks like everything wrong here. Like this is a angle and a pose that I do associate with Sue Storm, but I don't know what's going on here. I don't know what's going on. Like why she's wearing disco gloves or her hands phasing in and out of reality. It's not a good effect. It's not a good visualization of it. If it is,
She looks constipated.
She looks constipated. She does not look shapely. She's not shot from the right angle for this to work as sexy. This is there to be there, and she doesn't look great doing it. It's a disservice to the actress. And they stole the was it not Trauma? Who was the one who made that made the Fantastic Four garbage copy in the early 90s? Corman. Trauma and Corman are like the same thing. And then after she puts him on point a few times, Pedro walks up to the microphone and says, you know what, we can protect you. So it's not me ever. He's only confident as a member of the we. Some more collectivism, probably more commie messaging in this piece of shit. And again, we're supposed to be impressed. Like, yeah, you've got your fantastic. And look at this, like, really laying it on thick.
God. It looked like the uniform from Star Trek the movie.
The first movie?
Yes.
Better color. It was more appropriate for Star Trek than them, but yes. Maybe he had these ready for his Star Trek movie. You know what? And this really was the slap in the face, because the theme song is people like a choir, like Fantastic Four, and it's just like more like Fantastic Foreskin or something. I want it cut away and thrown into the trash.
God, this
like my foreskin was. When I was born, Kremlin, they took my foreskins, Kremlin. They took my foreskin away.
They stole it from all of us.
At least my uncle, the Moyle, did it for me. And we got a few more people filtering in. Guys, I need your help. I got this community guideline strike a while back, and people have been up my ass, and my live analytic has been for shit. I had the phases turned on me over and over and over, and now I have to do all these unengaging things about engagement, like not really publicize when my show is on, not set it up ahead of time, and not put in the link that can be embedded anywhere at any point at any part of my publicity, or someone figures out a way to decompress it and they get an embeddable version of it and they fucking punk me. So it adds like 5 minutes to every piece of publicity. So like I am really fighting hard here to get a good analytic, and I thank the 7 or 8 of you. Looks like 9 of you now. I thank you all very much from the bottom of my heart. And again, anyone who could tweet out off the browser that I'm live, that helps me and wakes up the algorithm a little bit. We've had problems here ever since the community guideline strike, where I told everybody that we should listen to juries. Some of the problems we fucking had in this channel, I can't believe it. Well, the worst of them seem to be over, but now we have to build back that analytic. Welcome back. And welcome if you're here for the first time. Hit those like and follow buttons. That really helps me from the coming bot swarm, because believe me, they'll try to find a way. So this was my thing about Matt Shackman. I don't trust him. He was in that JJ scam. It turns out there is a better Fantastic Four movie. There's 2 of them, and including the Silver Surfer one. Both the Silver Surfer was better. Their Sue Storm was better by a lot. There's nothing wrong with admitting that the Fox movies are kind of watchable and are now only relatively bad, considering, and the female Silver Surfer, aside from not being what we want, she looks like shit. Like, it's not an attractive rendering of a female, and it's not an attractive rendering. And X seems to be coming online. A bunch of people over there. We'd love to see some comments, X. I've got a dedicated machine, and I keep looking over my shoulder. So, if you're on X, say hi. Make yourself known. Because these X analytics, getting harder and harder to justify undercutting the show with the X. I feel like YouTube really doesn't like it when I do that. But I don't think I can sit through this movie, Clemon. This movie looks like shit.
You know you're going to do it.
Oh, wow. I'm just seeing a chat. I'm answering it now. There you go. And I really mean that. I'll be hitting the roasters later. But it's not just that it's bad. It's outright hard to watch, and it might look even worse than Snow White. I don't feel like I can sit through this movie. I feel like the deal was for Thunderbolts, which is shorter. I know it's not that long. I don't know which one is worse. And it looks like people have more confidence in the Superman trailer. Or do you think is that lack of interest by our channel? Is that maybe our channel doesn't care about Superman?
I think it's just the person that's writing and directing it.
It's there's no interest in Superman. It's not that people don't think it looks terrible. They're not motivated. Like today, Fantastic Four pushed everybody's buttons, didn't it?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, just the person that's writing and directing it. Pretty much, it just sounds like the whole production is just going through hell at the moment. I don't really have hope for the Superman movie either.
I mean, when you said the person writing and directing it, I don't have hope. I was like, I don't even have to really ask him which movie because it applies to both.
Yeah.
It's a disaster, Kremlin.
I feel like James Gunn's just going to end up trying to do another Guardians of the Galaxy, type of thought process, which that's just not.
Dark Hour said it on Critical Drinker. He said, like, the presence of Krypto isn't a big problem, but the presence of Supergirl is, because once you have a second Kryptonian with him that early in the Superman origin tale, you've taken away the loneliness of Superman and the being alone. DJ Play Nice, it's good to see you, my friend. Hello.
Didn't he keep saying that it wasn't supposed to be an origin of Superman? This is supposed to be.
That's another thing I hate, joining Superman. Like, it's not an origin, but we still keep all the traits of the origin by having it be like Batman Year One, Superman Year One.
Uh-huh.
So that's where we're looking at here. And it looks like the tweeting has helped. I thank everybody, like up the stream. It really does help. It's important. And you know what? It's been a difficult time since that community guideline strike for Star Trek. They think that we were telling people stuff, and we weren't. But you know what? We couldn't have more competition. And like I said, again, to the people coming through later, thank you. You know what? The Fantastic Four trailer doesn't look good. And by the way, I missed some of those great jokes we were laying on during the 1923 the last stream we did, because I was producing. That was the stream I listened to for quality control today. You're by far the better host. Teags should play as hosts. Cosby account reported. So we got 17 votes. So we have a representative amount of people coming through, and I appreciate that we've got a bunch of people watching. I thank you from the bottom of my heart. If you could have the browser open, it helps. It really does. So here's the deal. We got 17 votes. Fantastic Four pushed everybody's buttons today, and it's going to keep on pushing buttons for a while. It looks like it's starting to turn into a little mini Snow White situation, but it's happening late in the day. Fantastic Four, 76% think it looks like the worst. Superman, 6% looks pretty bad to me. Looks worse than Thunderbolts, to be honest, because that universe is already ruined. Like Superman, the failed, this is looking like a stillborn universe, this DC universe. It doesn't look like it has what it takes. The James Gunn one.
Thunderbolts just looks forgettable at this point.
That's why I feel like it's going to be the most painless one to sit through. It'd be like 88 minutes. Right. It'd be like 89 minutes, you know what I mean? It happens in our world. This Fantastic Four aesthetic is abusive.
Yeah. I mean, if they would have pulled this off years ago and left out some of the weird things, I'm sure this could have looked pretty good. But I think that they've lost a lot of their creativity. By the way, this is something. Browser crashing is a real pain in the ass, and I appreciate everyone who puts up with it. Oh, JT's got it. JT knows it. Stop playing copyrighted content. Your channel has been reported to my mommy. Member for 14 months. Thank you, JT Kirk, for supporting me every step of the way. And I noticed a bunch of you guys watched the new member video. A bunch of you still haven't. Krimlon, have you seen it? Which one? The 1923 one that you did?
No, I just did a new member video. It does mention 1923. It plays the 1923 music.
I
The
may
new
not have
member
thought-
video can't be played on the air because it's all music. It's the 1923 theme song and 2 songs from Patton.
Oh yes, no. I did leave my patented "You're Gay" on it. Strange new gay.
Yeah, gay. It's gay. It's you have to say it like that.
Hey,
Yeah.
you gotta say it right. You gotta spell it right. 'Cause it's not
Well,
gay,
ever
it's
since I
gay.
changed myself to identifying as trans in my YouTube demographics, why they need to know this about me, I don't know. Why that's a choice, I don't know. But ever since I checked that off, things been going a little better. It's good to see DJ play nice.
Well,
See,
with the way you were describing that, YouTube was shoving fingers up specific areas. I mean, you should qualify for the alphabet community.
Or I could move to Alphabet City.
Yeah.
Honestly, Fantastic Four doesn't look as bad as Snow White, or at least won't promote communism. I don't know about that. Still, Fantastic Four's failure may help Superman, and I really hope it's good, but I don't trust Gunn. See, I don't know what... Like, there's no winning scenario for Superman. Like, the most winning scenario might be... thank you, JT. Yeah, you can go to that link and set up the member video for later and check it out. And I thank everybody for the likes to help me keep polarizing the hall and for tweeting out on X and leaving the browser open. It's all the above at this point to try to keep things going. And you know what? Also, it takes like an hour for it to cycle through the community that people know that I'm live. It'll build in a while when I'm ready to get out of here, Krimlon. Krimlon, the Fantastic Four aesthetic is being used as a cheap workaround for having a good movie. What do you think of that statement?
Yeah, I think you're right.
I think that this is Hucksterism. And I think that they will find a way to have communism in this.
Oh god.
I think they will. So it looks horrible. It looks horrible. And you know what? RRTNZ has the biggest beef with this, so let's see. Honestly, Fantastic Four doesn't look as bad as Snow White, or at least won't promote communism as much. Still, as much. Okay, yeah, no, it will promote it, though, yes. Still, Fantastic Four's failure may help Superman. I really hope it's good, but I don't trust Gunn. Here's the thing. What's the winning scenario on Superman, Krimwan? You know? Like... that James Gunn gets over his idiosyncrasies and puts out a truly watchable movie for the first time in a couple of tries because like he's misfired like twice in a row now.
Yeah.
It wasn't a full misfire with Guardians 3, but it was just too weird and different.
For me, it was. I did not care too much for Guardians 3. It was boring.
It made money.
It was depressing.
Some people said it was depressing. Yeah.
Yeah. It just didn't have the same, feeling as the first two. Yes, it was meant to be kind of sad, because they were getting ready to split up, but at the same time period, there was no soul. It just felt off. Everything about it felt off. I mean, the coloration looked good. Just the quality of it looked fairly good. It's just that there wasn't something about the whole aura of the film just did not come off right with me. Did not feel good. And I'm just really hoping that doesn't continue into the Superman. And I also really hope he doesn't go down the same realm as the Guardians of the Galaxy 1 and 2 for Superman, since that's just a completely different lineup of characters. It they're using Guy Gardner as the current Green Lantern? And I really couldn't stand that character to begin with.
And it's played by the most likable actor on that thing.
Exactly. I like that guy. He's a great actor, but the character...
They know how to soft sell garbage now, too. It's like, you know
Yeah.
Nathan Fillion. You like Nathan Fillion.
Yeah. You can't really go wrong with Nathan Fillion. He is a pretty good actor. He's got pretty good wit. I don't know. I've got hope, but it's kind of dwindling the more I see from it.
He wasn't the best. I mean, he was great in the role, but I didn't love Castle. It wasn't my kind of cop show. I can handle Bones, which was like a similar flair, but Castle just wasn't as good.
I liked Castle, but the last few seasons it did start to drop off. Well, I guess that's what happened.
What was the deal? That Castle's girlfriend, whatever, was just about as hot as Bones? I mean, was that the appeal of the show?
Yeah, I mean, you know how they like to copy between different TV shows. There's always, if there's one good one, they got to make another one that's fairly similar. But I think she was a lot prettier than Bones.
She was gorgeous. Although the Bones actress was better, and that was a more fun character.
Well,
Gunn
I
can't
mean,
help
it was
himself with
crazy.
the cringe
She was
comedy.
yeah, she was cringy, and you can't really go wrong with that.
But he makes two good points. Out of place violence that doesn't always work. Hey, Dad Man, what's up? JT, go to bed. You're sick or drunk. He's not sick anymore. We ran him or drunk. We ran him through the pattern buffer twice, Dad Man. We got the alcohol out, and then we got the norovirus out. Now we have to go clean the pattern buffer. That's your job later, come on.
Ugh.
But yeah, like,
Make a red shirt do it.
all right, well, we'll sign it to a red shirt. Trip, get a red shirt down there. You know what, though? Like, here's the other thing. He is right. Like, the violence just comes out of nowhere sometimes. And Taylor Sheridan does that well because it's real life violence, worldly violence. In some of these movies, the violence comes out of nowhere, and it's not really like, it's kind of a much different world than ours. You know what I mean? And you just don't expect like it's the out of place violence as used to inspire humor and just get a gut buster going with like 3 funny murders. In fact, that's how Nathan Fillion dies in his one Suicide Squad movie. In an inappropriate violence scene.
Yeah. Actually, I do remember that. Yeah, that was actually really funny when it happened too. I thought it was appropriate.
I didn't think that one was that inappropriate, and that was the last time that one of those worked, and that was a while ago when his flag was at its highest, wasn't it? Because the first one was done by someone else and had nothing but problems. Someone has said, I've heard it said, that it was cut by a trailer house, edited by people who did trailers, because there was like a problem getting an editor in time because the movie was so late. But I don't know if I trust him with something as big as Superman.
Yeah, I don't think he's going to fit very well with Superman, not with his sense of humor.
And the low effort Superman theme sucks.
Well, I mean, look at the actor that they chose. He looks exactly like Henry Cavill. I don't get why they just didn't keep Henry Cavill at that point.
He's too old for the Superman they want to do, and he comes to the history of the Snyder Superman.
Let me take a look here, because I thought he wasn't much younger than.
And
Henry
they got
Cavill.
this guy for like $750,000, and Henry Cavill would have gotten like $40 million.
Yeah, I guess
whatever, like $12 million.
That would make sense. But hey, I mean, I guess did they confirm that Henry Cavill's supposed to be playing Wolverine at some point?
I bet there'll be another multiverse mashup joke. Wasn't he Henry Cavill Wolverine already in the other movie?
Yeah, he was already. He was in a short clip scene from the Deadpool Wolverine movie, but I think
because they go through every universe of Wolverines, and in one universe it's him.
Let me take a look here.
I've been watching this show, Red Dwarf.
Oh God, I haven't seen that in 20 years.
You know what? Today I saw a episode called Backwards, where they go to a parallel universe and they make fun of the multiverse before there even was like really out there. And of all things, where they go, they meet their opposites, and their opposites are female, and they go fuck themselves.
Boy. Yeah, that sounds creative. Would you fuck me? I'd fuck me.
Well, I mean, no one's fucked me more than me. I mean, as far as like the things this hand has done. But you know what? Play the game, everybody. Play the game of love, Freddie Mercury. What a strange comment to highlight on after that quip. But yeah, I don't see much hope for this Fantastic Four trailer. And then there's another thing going on. There's a thing. Crim1, there's a thing. Somebody pointed out that that there was an unrealistic fight scene in The Last of Us.
Was it a thing?
Do you watch this fine program?
I did watch first season of The Last of Us. Depends on how much I remember of it at this point.
So this is pretty grainy, but I'm going to share the screen. Copa Turbo Roundhouse on X. And they're a nice person. I've been talking to them for a long time. So they said, the tweet is, how much suspension of disbelief is needed to watch The Last of Us? See how much suspension of disbelief is needed to watch The Last of Us. So if I go little by little, maybe I won't go to jail. So this is a fight scene. And she goes at him, right? You've seen her size. So she ran at him and hit him at the waist. And that's about what you'd expect, right? Like, so far, okay.
I mean, he could have literally just put his hand out and done the same thing.
All right, so then that doesn't really work out too good. Still more or less going the way you'd expect, right?
Seems like it.
It's good to see everybody. We're all a little gay for Cavill. Man crush. In a sane world, he'd be Bond already. Yeah. They'll make someone like Orlando Bloom Bond. They'll be like, we put your girlfriend in space, now we have to have you be Bond. So the fight getting a little more intense here. Now, as you can see, she's slapping and flailing with her hands. Always a precursor to the fact that you're going to lose the fight. Nothing more dangerous and menacing than slapping the air vainly with your hands.
I like it. I like it.
Yeah, I mean, so far I like where this fight's going. I mean, fuck you. All right. So they couldn't let him land the punch.
That's normal. That's normal for Hollywood.
Normal for Hollywood. So now she's got her legs around his neck.
I mean, it's definitely
see
possible.
Where this is going. She's got her Converse there.
It's not out of the realm of possibilities for this portion.
Are you? I
mean, I did the same thing to my stepfather, and I was like 90 pounds, and he was 185 pounds.
You might have had certain advantages in that I think that this guy is like maybe this is an inordinately tiny woman. This guy, the only thing that I don't know. So you found this fight to be believable?
I mean, if you can get into that position, yeah. I mean, although at least that portion of it, I think with the size of him, all you'd have to do is just pick her up and body slam her. Because that's pretty much what happened to me.
Right, it started out well.
It started out well, lasted for about a few minutes just before he passed out, picked me up, and body slammed me.
I'm going to put a link in the private chat.
It wasn't an actual fight. This was my stepfather was a martial artist. He was training me.
Oh, okay. So that's the only excuse for how this is supposedly going to work, because she gets her legs around his neck. Yeah, I put the clip in the private chat. It's only a minute long. Try to take a quick look at it and watch the fight choreography. You tell me if that justifies her winning this fight.
I wouldn't think that she would win it nonetheless. And if he knows how to fight, yeah, that's not going to happen. But he's a big boy.
And somehow she blocked his oncoming punch. No problem. She doesn't take a punch to the freaking face.
Boom, motherfucker.
Yeah, that one's a little bit unbelievable for the.
Okay, so now let's take a look at the comments. Now, I know Shield Wall of Dragons. I stream with Shield Wall. Hey, Shield Wall, if you're out there. One choker slam or mud stomp, which he had about 10 opportunities to do, and the fight's over. Now, if she had a gun or a kniff or a spear or a toxic pufferfish dart, then maybe. They just don't know how to write a plausible woman fighting a man, so it's damn easy, and it's so damn easy to do. They had the right idea, but I thought that the fight choreography really betrayed them, right?
I think she got lucky with. I mean, they can always say she got lucky with getting her legs wrapped around his neck just before he got that fist in there. But
how could he not land the fist? I mean, he was full on. He was like 7 or 8 times her size. How does she recover so fast from being tossed down the first time?
Yeah, and that kind of that little bit of a hip throw after having her legs around his neck. Yeah, you're not. I don't. She's not strong enough to. Yeah, I was wondering if someone would catch that, JT. But
giggity. How did he not land that punch?
No, just a straight up fisting. Yeah, I'm sure.
Yeah, I mean, how did he not
let someone to catch it?
Of course. How did he not land that punch? It's ridiculous. I guess we can end our association with the game of with the Fantastic Four trailer. So Roundhouse, so Shield Wall thinks it's crazy. Copa Turbo Roundhouse agrees. So what you're saying is 2 twigs wrapped around a man's neck doesn't instantaneously choke the power out of his legs, which is the reply.
Yeah.
Now, the question again is, how much suspension of disbelief is required to watch The Last of Us? Paulie the Latino Slant says, none at all.
Well, you can make someone pass out fairly quick by getting their legs wrapped around their neck. If you put enough pressure
that
on it,
comes after a lot of unbelievable mistakes by that guy.
Exactly. And I don't, with that little bit of a hip thrust to get him into the arm bar right there, and that one's more unbelievable. She does not have the body strength or the weight to transition to that.
Right.
So
the fact that they had the only way that she could knock him out be the way he gets knocked out. Well, that's one thing. The fact that she puts herself in a position to do it, it's like, hey, let me help you beat me. Hey, let me help you a little more. Hey, let me make sure I pull my punches. Hey, let me just get your legs around. Okay, you hit my cutoff switch. It was like they turned him off like Data. So when Riker turns off Data.
And if he's training her to fight, then he knows exactly what he's doing. I just don't see that happening.
I don't think he's training her to fight.
Well, I mean, he tapped out.
I think they're in some kind of fight club.
I can't remember enough of that scene. The last time I even watched the show was when it first came out, and what was that, 2 or 3 years ago?
I think these are new episodes. This is in the new episodes. Because it's running again now, or this is in their new trailer. Yeah. So I don't know. So like standing up for this being realistic, Paulie says that no suspension of disbelief is needed whatsoever. I'm going to call that a kind of a hot take, but hey, he's a YouTuber. He's trying to start up, right? And then, so Copa Turbo Roundhouse says it's accurate for a 100-pound L to jujitsu a 230-pound opponent without being ragdolled until she has tomato soup dispensers for ears. Paulie, 100%.
Yeah, he could have ended.
Don't you think at that point? But don't you think at that point, Paulie needs to explain why it's believable rather than just 100%? Why is it believable? And is Paulie getting confused in the difference between realistic and believable? Is he lost? Is it realistic but not believable? Because that's what I'm talking about. We're talking about the difference between realism and believability here is what I think in this Last of Us thing. What do you think?
I think so. I mean, he's going to have to give a better description than that.
He can't. He's not. It's just like the Snow White stuff. I would wonder why Paulie and somebody's response was pretty dead on as far as okay. I mean, you know what? Paulie might be qualified to say this, but he's not backing anything up, and that was my problem with the Snow White stuff too. And we better get away from this. And with the Rachel Ziegler stuff too, it's like if you're going to say Rachel Ziegler may win an Academy Award one day, and a week later her agent fires her, what's up with your takes? By the way, Rachel Ziegler was fired by her agent today, Kremlin.
Yeah, I see nothing wrong with that. Seems like perfect timing.
So, do you think he was tired of getting yelled at?
Oh, I think so. I mean, it was pretty embarrassing that the what was it? The son of was it the director, or I can't remember who it was. It was the son of someone that had worked on the film had went off on.
It was one of the producers. He got pissed off and said, because she said, I just got corrected. He's like, yeah, that's right, bitch. My dad had to fly across the country to make it clear to you to calm down, and you still tweeted again an hour after he left. You're crazy.
Yeah, she is a nut job. My opinion. Gotta love YouTube. The tube of YouTube.
I think in this one we can actually just call her a nut job. She's acted crazy enough in public. She cannot win litigation saying that she's like of sound mind. Yeah, he could have faced like Paulie. Back up your takes. Like no one is saying anything crazy here. And these glib emojis. I also noticed that on Pop Culture Breakdown, he changed his endorsement of Snow White from a 6 to a 4. How do you think that was a 60% good movie?
Well, yeah, there was no way it was a 60. It was that. But I'm thinking back on this whole scene. It's just, what JT says here with kicking and swinging all this stuff right here. My thought process is when she comes in, wraps her arms around his waist. I mean, literally all he had to do is just grab her underwear and give her a wedgie real hard, and then kick her.
Or just grab her by like the belt of her jeans and throw her across the room.
Pretty much.
She was really conspicuously small. I love this. Somebody was so annoyed with Paulie's take that he got this. I mean, you're not winning people over here, Paulie. I mean, neither am I. My ex behavior is nothing to be proud of, but can we get some qualifications? Can we get some clarification once in a while from Paulie? How did you think the movie was 60% good? How did you manage to get yourself to the point where you where you went from a 6 to a 4? What changed your mind? It's like you're giving opinions, but when you're retracting your takes, you're not backing up why you felt this way. You're not justifying. Like, why would Rachel Ziegler ever win an Academy Award? Because she's the most unpleasant activist? I mean, there's still such a thing as a Q rating. Brie Larson did the same thing, and her career is only stumbling to its feet now.
She's a woman. She deserves it. All the awards.
She'll probably get a scat of awards, but I don't know about, first of all, what does it say about where do you stand on the Academy Award? Is it legitimate? I say it's not. Is she going to get a DEI Academy Award? Is she going to get a Carla Sofia Gascon nomination? I mean,
I think you had it right a second ago when you said she's going to get a scat award.
I tried to go into that Instagram, but since I never use Meta, I can't sign in. You have to open it up and share it with the present feature if you want to put it on there.
You would. Let me see if I can.
Yeah, all you got to do is use that present feature. You can just figure that one out. It's easy.
It's questionable right now with the internet that I'm literally in the middle of nowhere. I'm in the country at the moment.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Yeah, the internet
you
quality.
said that the Big Red One was like within 50 miles of where you lived, and I didn't ask you where. Is it in Omaha, Nebraska?
No. So I live out in the
Because I don't
Kansas
think
City
you live
area,
there.
but
That's what I
no,
thought.
I live in Kansas City, but the Big Red One is actually at it's at a specific military base here in the dead center of Kansas, up over by Topeka. Well, further than Topeka, actually. It's by the
There's a lot of
Kansas
military stuff in Kansas. There's Leavenworth is
Fort,
there.
Fort Riley.
Is the Air Force
Well,
headquarters there?
you got McConnell Air Force Base, which is in Wichita. You got Whiteman Air Force Base, which is east of Kansas City in Missouri.
Army War College at Leavenworth.
Yeah, you got that's also the prison too. That's a federal prison.
Bradley Manning was there for a while, and then
Michael
what's
Vick was
weird
there.
is, was he?
Yep, Michael Vick was there for his entire stint.
We had to put him in the disciplinary barracks because he was a high profile prisoner.
Not sure why, but I know that he was there.
He joined the army to go to a regular jail. You know what's really weird is Bradley Manning was there, and I googled it. Chelsea Manning was there too. What are the odds?
Yeah, so many Mannings. Good thing it was not a Peyton or
And
Eli.
Peyton Manning, yeah, Eli Manning. No, Eli Manning was there. Let's see, he got his. Yeah, we saw that one. Thanks, JT. Thank you.
Okay,
We run a respectable show. It's a
see.
family program. Yeah,
Yes, family.
I think that her agent was just tired.
Fast and
Yeah.
the Furious. We're family. It's all about
And
family.
I've yelled at a couple lawyers, so I could only imagine what it was like when she yelled at her agent. I mean, she just. First of all, she's the farthest thing from a charming and pleasant case to go see a movie, and she does not seem like she's any fun, or she doesn't. She seems a stranger to the word enjoyment.
But she's so pretty.
She's not pretty either. We took a look at those Vogue magazine, those Mexican Vogue pictures, and it was like.
You may get in trouble for
Rachel
this.
Ziegler takes a lot of pictures, and to call her beautiful is a stretch at this point. She's taken too many pictures for us to say that she's beautiful anymore, too. The pictures where she's dressed up like the fucking devil didn't help her. But she did like a pictorial in like Mexican Vogue that he was pointing out that he felt she looked beautiful in. And it was just like, she has no figure.
Okay.
She has.
I've got it presented here for you.
Oh no! What do we have? Next is Rachel Ziegler. Don't go away.
Great.
Brain.
I think you've got a fine brain, Jack.
You make me happy. Got a good brain.
Thank you for pausing.
I think you've got a fine brain, Jack.
You
Perfect. Hey, critically thinking and drinking is here. Hello to you.
I think I
Your
got it.
eyes are raining. Yeah. What can you do? You know, we're talking about Rachel Ziegler and her weirdness. Weird. And
Weird.
there are pictures in Mexican Vogue, right? So I think I found the article. And I think, oh, this is a Reddit thing with all the pictures. I mean, as much as I want to just use it for all the pictures, because it's Reddit, it's just like I don't need to go on there. So these are the pictures where Rachel Ziegler that was described as beautiful by Paulie.
So beautiful.
I'll let you guys judge for yourself. So she's going for the Top Gun look, about 35 years too late here, with the fighter pilot jacket all pulled up. As you can see, she has no hips whatsoever.
Stunning and brave.
Rachel Ziegler, protagonistas de la historia actual, real heroes in history.
Stunning and brave.
The second cover appeals to me. And here's another one. I guess this is the best one because she's not scowling, but like you notice here, not smiling. Is this the same picture? Yeah.
She looks like a.
So she looks like Kelly. What's her name from fucking Top Gun? Kelly McGillis with Tom Cruise's fighter pilot jacket. It's the same pose.
Except for the lower.
I guess they're saying she's a mag. Yeah,
like a
I
boy.
wouldn't say. I never thought I'd say this. Like Deborah Winger and Kelly McGillis both have better bodies than this woman. I'm not saying a lot. And here, just laying on her back. I mean, it looks like she's in the back of some 70s dude's pot smoking van. I don't know that she looks beautiful here either.
A brave unicorn van.
I think she needs to tweeze her fucking eyebrows.
Yeah, I've never liked that look.
It's going too heavy.
Hungover.
She does look hungover. You know what? Reddit has more pictures than everyone else. I want to see if I can't get one of the other ones. She looks a little bit better in this one picture.
She does look like what's his name that played in the Mr. Robot.
Who?
What was his name? He played it at Night at the Museum also. He's got a new movie coming out here soon.
Chris Kattan?
Mr. Robot. I keep forgetting his name.
Battlefield Earth, the Scientology Navi, did better on Metacritic. Oh, wow. Than Snow White?
Hey,
there's a Battlefield Earth movie.
It was so horrible. It was good.
The movie is like a cringe fest of horrible. She does look hungover, I guess. It's a fair assessment. She doesn't look beautiful.
Yeah, Rami Malek.
All right, so these are we saw 2-3 pictures from that cover. Nothing remarkable, and if anything, she looked below average looking because like she had the figure of like a 11-year-old boy.
Yes, she did. I put another
Rami Malek. I think I know what you're talking about. That movie ended John Travolta's career. Battlefield Earth. It ended his career for the second time, and then he crawled back into it again. He's had his career blow up on him like 3 or 4 times. It was the movie Perfect ended his career the first time. What's that?
From Paris with Love. He's playing a psychopath CIA person.
I think that's the one where he met his now late wife. Can you believe that that Kelly Preston is dead? You didn't miss anything earth-shattering, but we did talk about Battlefield Earth, and I was talking about how also I watched a lot of Red Dwarf this week. I'm trying to get up to speed for Northern English Bastard. I'm supposed to pick my 5 favorite. I figure if I can watch about 20, that's good enough. It's like there seems to be 8 or 9 a season. I'm up to like 7 or 8 hours of watching Red Dwarf. It's really funny. I'll give it that. Well, sometimes it's too batshit. Like you can tell when they're reaching and stretching for a joke. When you see him, you can tell how the guy's mind is starting to work, and like I'm growing along with the writers. Like they have no budget, but they're doing things here and there. Let's see. Did I hear where Carl Urban is possibly doing a Judge Dredd show series post The Boys? I heard that, and I heard it's from The Boys people. I don't know how much credence to give it. It seems to be true. Nerdrotic was talking about it as though it was true, and went so far as to reserve his criticism for saying that what he was worried about was that The Boys people would be bad for the movie. Or for the miniseries, that they weren't maybe the best ones. And I will say this, they do miss here and there with The Boys. The Boys do seem to miss here and there. And check out Critically Thinking and Drinking if you're following him on X. He's going to have 50,000 fucking subs soon. Can you believe that? 50,000 X followers.
Yeah, let me know when you want to watch that bit.
Which one? The Last of Us fight. I've got that playing on the side. It's worse every time I look at this. Like as yeah, he does tap out. You're right. You're right. He does tap out. Oh no, he's trying to tap out, and she doesn't accept it until like the second or third time when some other woman calls her off. She don't need no man to tell her what to do.
Need no man.
This is even meaner, and like. The scene just doesn't come off well. We've all watched it now. The scene doesn't come off well. The scene isn't well choreographed. It's not terrible compared to Echo. It's good, but it's pretty badly choreographed. It didn't sell me on the idea they were having any kind of a real fight. What is my opinion on his movie if you saw it? Wait, which one? I didn't see... I feel like a chump on this one. I didn't see his Dread movie. I saw the Stallone one.
Oh, it was honestly, I want to say it was a lot better than the Stallone one.
People keep saying that, and I think that like his personal charisma and ability to act could save a lot of movies. So I don't know how good the movie is until I see it, because he is extremely charismatic, and he was helping fool people with that Star Trek reboot. Now I think he himself was also fooled.
Well, he got really hardcore into the character. As far as I understood, that
I need to see this movie. You're right.
He refused to take the helmet off the entire time during filming. He stayed in character through all of it. He even made him.
What was that like when he went home to like his girlfriend, the new Mandalorian?
Oh boy, yeah. Oh, I wonder how that one went. But yeah,
what was that like taking a shit? Just like, get the Mandalorian helmet on. You're reading the Perth Times because he's from Australia, right?
I mean, if she put her helmet on and he put his helmet on, it'd be perfect. They can hold hands while they're both taking a shit.
I bet she gives great helmet.
Great helmet.
Yeah, you know what? I got to see Carl Urban's Dread. I am remiss in that one, but. I don't see Rachel Ziegler getting an Oscar, and if she does, I mean, what do they even mean anymore? What do they even mean anymore? And
they'll give it to her just because it's Disney, but that's it.
Well, I mean, if everyone else is DEI'd out of it, like let's say like there's an Academy Awards in like 2 or 3, like 20 years, and we keep going down this crazy woke DEI road, right? In 20 years, the Academy Awards, like the World War II movie, can't be nominated. Too pale and male. So the Band of Brothers level movie that they make with like the amazing action that makes the most money that year, that one won't be able to be nominated. You know what I mean? Then, like Watergate, starring Whoopi Goldberg as Nixon, like that's going to get serious consideration.
Yeah, that would be very interesting. Maybe
She's such a good actress. I want to see that.
Elon Musk movie, Denzel Washington.
I would see that too. Now I want to see it. I want to see you. I want to see that. What's funny is like with an actor as great as Denzel, if you throw enough money at him, of course he'll do it. But could you imagine if you gave him so much cash that he just does this and tries to pull it off? It takes it very seriously. I mean, who knows?
I'm more excited to see the Biggie Smalls movie. And was it Jelly Roll is playing as Biggie Smalls?
Say that again?
It was the singer Jelly Roll playing as Biggie Smalls. I mean, it's perfect.
Really? Yeah. The Dread movie was filmed in South Africa, huh? It figures. Carl Urban's from like New Zealand or Australia. His first few movies are like made are not Hollywood movies, and I think it's pretty early for him. That might have gotten him Star Trek. He was good in those Star Trek movies, but those Star Trek movies sucked. So anyway, the female Silver Surfer, man, did you see that?
It was horrible.
Like it's not even a good rendering, and it looks like it's like another chick who's just their idea of athletic is Mary Lou Retton, and they're gonna like jam it down our throat. That's beauty.
You know, it's just kind of sad that the last Fantastic Four movies were 20 years ago, and the graphics look better than this slop.
Their Silver Surfer was a lot better. Terminator 2 was a lot better.
I guess I'm one of the few that actually like Terminator 2 before more than Terminator 1.
Here he is from some comic book wiki. This is the '07 Terminator. I'm sorry, Terminator. Silver Surfer. Here he is. '07 Silver Surfer looked a hell of a lot better than the Silver Surfer we saw today. This Silver Surfer is better and more appropriate than the one we saw. Later, JT. It was good to see you. And RTNZ gives him the live long and prosper. And guys, like I said, if you're coming through later, leave me a 1923 comment because that's what we're going to talk about next. Tomorrow, I have to sit down and actually make the 1923 final video. And I don't know if I can get to 10 minutes on this one without going to a half an hour. I don't know what to say about this one. There's nothing to say, and there's so much to say at the same time. In the form of there's nothing to say, the last two episodes were a little bit of a nothing burger. Like, everything that had to happen happened, but it was like, listen to what I found out. They cut the scene at, this is, I think, why the movie was shown all at once, too. They were like, they had to show it before anyone changed their minds. They were like, I think they were fighting behind the scenes about what needed to be done. They had Spencer's emotional moment be with Alex at the hospital, so he talked to Timothy Dalton for like 5 minutes, and they cut it. Like, he laid out his reasoning why he blamed him for Alex's death. Which, by the way, was the last thing he should have been blaming him for. I think he just should have been like, you fucking made me come all the way back. Like, he was an indirect cause of Alex's death. But I would have thought that he'd be like beating him around. I was like, you killed my father. You killed my nephew. You shot my nephew's wife. And my wife damn near died on the way here. But like he's known Alex like 3 months. This guy killed his father. He had his father shot. You know, Timothy Dalton did a lot more than just inconvenience Alex.
Definitely didn't inconvenience me. I mean,
Crimlon was looking forward to Alex getting what she deserved. Crimlon was an anti-Alex activist the entire time in the show. And he couldn't wait. He thought that Alex got off easy. The 2000 Surfer was mocap by Doug Jones and voiced by Larry Fishburne. Doug Jones from Star Trek Discovery and voiced by Larry Fishburne. Quality actors. The new Surfer is just tinfoil crap. Doug Jones is a quality actor. If it's who I'm thinking of, he has an Academy Award for Shape of Water. Because he did such a great job in selling that fish creature. And we never did see the fish creature's dick, and I still thought it was a good movie. But I always wondered, where's the fish creature's dick? Because, like, they'd be fucking in that movie. Did you see the Shape of Water?
is this the one way back in the day that was like a mermaid? Or
no, it's only like, it's about 4 or 5 years ago now.
Oh, God.
Yeah, Mermaid Man and Deaf Woman have like relationship. No, like he's a government experiment and they keep him there, and he has to be like she's the maid, and she finds out the fish man lives there, and then she starts making love with the fish man.
You sure this wasn't on one of the
Thank you, buddy.
The internet streaming sites that seems to be very
You too,
popular?
my friend. Which one? Oh, on the high seas.
No. The unsavory.
Oh, Prawn Hub.
Yes.
Prawn Hub. You know, I think the closest thing we have now to like self-awareness is when you all accidentally catch your face in the monitor as you look away from Prawn Hub. That's when you see your true self.
I saw myself in the monitor.
I saw I hurt myself today.
I feel
But
ashamed. I saw myself in it.
I saw that. It's like I finally cleaned the monitor. So I'm still pondering the ending. I thought the Liz ending made more sense than the ending for Spencer and Alex. I thought that as a 2-hour event, it worked out. If we would have had to wait a week between the episodes, we would have been furious about him not getting home. They did cut a little bit and move some stuff around. I think they might have fought till the last minute. Like, and I don't mean like adversarially, maybe even with themselves over which was the best version of their movie. That was very kind of. I kept using all footage from The Shining to make the original videos, and then to have that ending be them dancing in the next life in the Shining-like situation in the same time frame as the people who were like the ghosts at the hotel. That was really the Shining ending was really weird. Yes. See, this is why he's only in like 2 minutes of every episode that he's in, and one full episode per season. Doug Jones is a real actor. He doesn't do much in Star Trek Discovery. They can't afford him. He's too good. But they'll give him like as much money as they give all the other actors and just wrap a whole season around him because people have some interest in him. They destroyed that character. But, you know what? Let's talk about Taylor Sheridan and the streaming medium for a minute here. We got something like 16 or 18 episodes of Yellowstone. It was a 2-year story. You came in the middle. Season 1 was definitely better. This was like season 2 of House of the Dragon was so much worse. So I feel like we're safe on that one.
I didn't even make it through the first few episodes of House of the Dragon. I don't even know why anyone liked it.
It came on hot in the heels of so much garbage, and season 1 I heard was good. So season 2, what's Ziggy doing in the video? How long is it? Is there any music?
Oh yeah, we're going back to that. No, I don't believe there's any music. It's just Waterboy reference.
Go for it.
You know, it'd help if I had unmute things.
What happens is
It helps.
the center has the ball first, and quarterback will say hike. That's when the center puts the ball into the hands of the quarterback. So what I do is I start tackling the quarterback unless he get the ball to somebody else, in which case I'll try to tackle that person.
Oh, Rachel Ziegler says the strangest things. I don't know what's up with her as far as career. Hey, Ariel Ballet, it's good to see you. Thank you for coming by. I see people don't care about clicking the white subscribe choice. We all know new movies look bad and support the Admiral instead. Thank you, Ariel Ballet. You know what? This was something I noticed about the Fantastic Four trailer. It had kind of trending towards bad YouTube numbers. Let me see what it's at. Fantastic Four trailer. 13 hours ago. Okay. So, 13 hours ago. Come on. 13 hours previous to now. At a time in the recent past, this trailer dropped, and it's got 27,000 downvotes and 340,000 upvotes. And it's still stuck at 9.9 million. Did it pick up like about 8 or 9,000 in the time we stepped away? I guess it did. You know what? Put me with the dissenters. So 340,000 up, 27,000 down. Of 9 million people, only 300,000 interacted at all. I'm suspect of the likes at this point, and I'm not suspect of the downvotes. I think that I think that's probably accurate. And hello over there on Rumble. It's good to see you. If you want to vote in our poll, you got to jump over on YouTube, but I'm going to check on it right now. Let's see, Crimlon. I wonder how democracy is working out for my little channel. Our little experiment here, our little utopia. Let's see. Let's get the chat popped out so we can see it. All right. Integrate that with the... it looks bad. It's a bad day for democracy. Come on. Let's see. What looks worse? Fantastic Four is still running away with it. The Thunderbolts and Superman have picked up a little bit of support. I would have to say, out of all of them, I got to agree with everybody. Like, it's really, with all these, also, it comes down to which movie is shortest. I may be willing to see... I'll see Fantastic Four on the high seas because I think it's going to be critical to pause and get over that movie for a few minutes at a time. It looks like it's going to be really hard to fucking take.
You're definitely going to need breaks in between that one.
It looks, you know what? And Marvel has a habit of making super long freaking movies. Like, I can't take 5 hours of that.
Like a 3 hour
I can't
movie
take 5 hours of that.
You're going to have an intermission halfway through.
Yeah, I can't take 3 hours of that. I mean, Wakanda Forever is like 3 hours and 10 minutes or some shit like that. Like, what do they think they were doing? Or 2 hours and 50 minutes?
No way I was going to watch that movie. I still haven't watched it.
See, Ariel Ballet, you're right. Like, Star Trek always kind of had some like socialistic ideas, but here's the thing: it was mixed with the capitalistic spirit of invention that got the replicator made, and so when people could replicate as much gold as they want, it just destroyed the market, and there was no need for money. It wasn't that they didn't have money. And then later on, we found out that they did have credits, even in the world of Roddenberry. So there was an economy. But yeah, Star Trek did have socialism. Today, though, we're seeing Star Trek passing off hardcore socialism, which it's dangerous and it's evil what they're doing, in my opinion. I still can't get out of my head when they say Admiral for Teague in the voice of Scotty from The Voyage Home. When saying Admiral, that's cool though. Hi, Admiral. You know what? Or how about like Khan?
Yes, gold plus platinum.
But we also have credits mentioned in the original series. So
yeah, was it the Federation used credits, didn't they?
Yes, and by the way, this is what I hear when I hear Admiral.
Admiral. Admiral.
Thank you, though, Ariel Ballet, for cross-associating me with such great geniuses. You know what? I would say in Wrath of Khan, my observation on the three admirals is the first time he says Admiral, he's in shock and resentful because he can't believe it, and he's mad that Kirk's career has advanced. Then the second time he says Admiral, he's considering that if he's an admiral, Starfleet must be a bunch of idiots. And the third admiral that he says really resolutely, I think that's like he has resolved to attack the United Federation of Planets because if that's the best they got, he will do very well against them. Let's do it again. Tell me what you think.
Admiral. Admiral. Admiral.
Am I reading too much into that, or is that because it's three different deliveries?
Good question.
I don't know. I feel like he seems to make his plan because he becomes resolute right at that moment. He's like, these are pets. And he puts the worms in their ears. Which, by the way, like, can Bobby Kennedy do anything wrong when he's had a worm in his brain? I mean, Khan's telling him what to do, guys. It's cool with me. Right? I mean, he's the most Star Trek politician of our time. The Ferengis, and those are Gene Roddenberry created creatures. And, they were like overly capitalistic, and then like I guess Gene realized that he hadn't thought them through deeply enough, and he shelves them for a while, and he doesn't get back to them in his life really much. Although they do use them well in a few TNG episodes. They don't use the energy whip again like until forever. Like I think they use it in Enterprise. Do they use it in Deep Space Nine once or twice?
Yeah, well, it was at Deep Space Nine. They went through the entire Ferengi society where they had all the laws and whatnot.
Yeah, the rules of acquisition. By the way, this line that Captain Kirk says in Trouble with Tribbles, That's when I realized that people from other places had different accents. As a kid, he's like, my chicken sandwich and coffee. And I'm like, it's like, is he trying to do a Chicago accent or something like as Kirk? I guess he's doing an American Midwesterner. Because he's kind of from the east coast of Canada. He's from Toronto. He's not that far from from the east coast. Or Montreal, rather. Montreal. Sorry, William. First one, surprise. Second one is anger. Third one, maybe jealous. Jealous or hatching a plan, right? Like he's like, if that's the best they got. Yeah, he is definitely angry though. Angry and jealous is in there. At first, we agree on the first two. He did a great job. DS9 did have they saved the Ferengi the same way that I would say Voyager destroys the Borg.
Well, they did a slight crossover with the Ferengi between DS9 and Voyager also. There was that one episode where the Ferengi got lost from DS9 through the wormhole and ended up in the Delta Quadrant.
But that was actually one of the best episodes of Voyager.
Yes, that was a pretty good one.
They started a cargo cult.
Yes.
That was a great episode. By the way, Ariel, I'm sorry to say, yes, they do have a new Harry Mudd, and he is in it extensively. He's in like 4 episodes, I think, like one or two of Star Trek Discovery and 1 or 2 of Strange New Worlds, where they think he's great. But Paramount and Star Trek are total poverty row now. And I have this on authority. I talked to Tom and Andre like I told everybody. I talked to Tom and Andre at the Midnight's Edge member stream. I just jumped in there and they told, I asked them what they knew. Not much new going on. The sales being held up because of the CBS News thing and all the litigation. The Ellisons can't stop or fire the Star Trek people, and there are indications that they would want to. Because of this failure, an ongoing failure. And, Alex Kurtzman's not going to change. He's going to be like, my new boss get here, and he'll see it my way. And he doesn't realize, any of this stuff, the depth of how deep he's in here. And so he's making this off-brand, unauthorized poverty row Star Trek and just throwing it out there. And he knows he's doing damage. He knows he's hurting Star Trek. It's like, is he trying to activate his buyout? Is he trying to just like filth it up? And like, it's like at this point, every time he makes something, he has shrank the fan base a little bit. If you thought that Section 31 movie, that Section 31 movie had absolutely no impact on the size of the Star Trek fandom, but it was a one-night movie. The Strange New Worlds will shrink the fandom a little more. It'll shrink the Star Trek fandom a little more. That's why it's important to do things like 1923, which I guess tangentially we should get back to. Shatner's from Montreal, Quebec, just east of central Canada. Toronto is 1,000 miles from east coast. Montreal is approximately 800 kilometers from the nearest maritime province. Sorry. Wow, okay. Well, I'm bad with my Canadian geography, but when America takes it over, I'll know it. When it becomes Northern America, what will we call it?
Those goofy names that you got up there.
How about like North Communa? How about North Kamaha? Like Omaha? Kamaha?
Upper northern Minnesota.
Like why? Like the Canadians are like super woke. Why don't we like give it like a woke name, like Stolen from the Guardian? Like the United States of Stolen from the Guardians. Make them all feel bad. They you know what? Like what must be like with the way Canadians are? What could be worse than like being in Canada in the winter? I'm sure they're very nice but like imagine the logical problem it presents when a Canadian sees another Canadian and holds the door open for them, but that person is too far away and must break into like a run to keep the person from holding the door open for too long. Like when your attempt to be polite meets at loggerheads with practicality, and it actually becomes passive aggressive politeness, and you have to run in the snow across the ice a little bit because someone's holding a door open and freezing out a whole building to be nice to you. I don't know. You heard it here first, people. Don't be too nice. Admiral Teague said it. But like the show, please. Kilometers. Yeah, so how many kilometers to the mile? It's like 600 kilometers to the mile. if Shatner is 1,000 miles, Toronto's farther away. Montreal is 800 kilometers from the East Coast, so that is what, about 550 miles? Oh, wow! Hey, Mr. House Party 6 gifted us 5 Admiral Teague memberships. Thank you, my friend. I wonder who got them. Let's find out. Thank you. It's really nice. Let's see who got them. Cult Classic Cage. Hey, Cass is hanging out. It's good to see Cult Classic Cage. She's a friend. And I transformed a video of hers earlier. Cassie, if you're out there, like, say hi. It's good to see you, fam. Nick's received a gift membership. Keely Chow hanging out again. Good to see Keely Chow. Jason Love and my friend Jacob Ironside all getting memberships. It's good to see you guys. And let's thank Mr. House Party 6. It really is great. And, the gifties really are great for the channel. There's a brand new member video with some great music in it. We have fun with it. The one last month was much more somber. You can see why after I saw that one. It's well made. A lot more work went into it than this one, but it was exhausting and mentally kind of it was hard to make that the one for last month, which was in memoriam of someone. But thank you, Mr. House Party 6, bringing five more people. Oh, Crazy K. Hello, there's a new name. Hello, Crazy K. Thank you for gifting House Party, gifting 5 Admiral Teague memberships to Stephen Ransom. My friend, the Gourd King, hanging out there. Woody M. Hello, Woody M. Good to see you again. Bubba Doom. Hi, buddy. And Dave C. got a gift membership. All right. Thank you, Crazy K. Welcome to the channel. This is the first time I think you've gifted me, and I thank you from the bottom of my heart. Did you recently change your name and I know you, or are you? Is this Big Dave K? Or is it just Crazy K? Thank you. I don't know who it is, but you know what? I do not know that name from seeing it before. I really do appreciate it. You are the best. I thank you from the bottom of my heart for bringing people into the channel. And Mr. House Party 6, between you and Crazy K, we have 10 new members. Welcome to the channel. Wow, Crimon! Whoa!
I mean, since we're
wow.
doing this, we might as well go all out.
We might as well, you know what? Release the hounds. Wow. We had a good amount of members. I'm trying to do the math in my head and see I might be able to do a couple of things here to bring us within striking distance in the next week. Give us like a week, maybe as long as till the show, to be in striking distance of 100 where we get the next emoji. I don't know. Let me see if I can release, because they give me a few to give away, but I always kind of think like strategically doing it. But now that we seem to have a bunch, I'm going to get in on this one. But it's so hard to do it because the interface on YouTube works like just absolute smeg. There you go. I'm going to disperse a full spread of memberships.
Spread, disperse, full.
There you go. I usually don't give those away. I like to hold off on those, but like we're like approaching like a significant number. So let's see who likes having a gift membership, and we'll see what goes on with that. Thank you, Aaron Lee. Welcome, File 13. Also, welcome, my friend. Do we get a Stark of Iron raid? Is that what's going on? Do we have some people coming in here? Because we have a few more folks than usual. Did Tony wrap up his show, or do we have people watching in both chats? Hey, Tony will be on hopefully for a while longer. He's streaming for a bit. If you want to take a break and you're staying on YouTube anyway, I welcome you. And you can watch a little more of his show on the Rewind. We're still live. We took a look at the Fantastic Four trailer. I don't think we need to go back to that. I would just say, whew. Yes, the spread of gifts. A full spread of gifts. Ariel, quite the avatar, I gotta say. You know what? We're still pondering the end of 1923. I think they were playing a dangerous game with that ending. It was satisfying, but not fully satisfying. You said it ended with a thud. I agreed, and then I kind of went into what I thought a thud was. Like, a thud is substantial. You feel a thud, you know what I mean? Like, it had some feel to it. It was authentic. But is it possible that trying to spread a narrative that involves the same characters over 16 episodes, where it's the overarching narrative rather than subplots and stuff like that, where you have on a TV series, a more traditional TV series? 1923 was a 16 episode one shot story. It was all one big story. Everything that happened because of Timothy Dalton deciding to be a big fish in a small pond.
I guess I feel thuds in a different way.
Well, I think the idea is that my feeling about the movie was like, the term was appealing to me, and like I thought about something like a slab of concrete just falling over, because the show had some gravitas and there was a lot more win than lose. I mean, as a whole, I would say the series is like a B plus, or maybe even an A. It's a modern day A, honestly, because I don't know any other show that ended like better. Ending shows is really hard.
Was it like 70 to 80% of things that come out now is just bad?
That don't even qualify for a D or an F.
Exactly.
Yeah, they're like beneath 70 or 80% of everything is beneath contempt. I said it, but you see, that's my problem with some of these hot takes that Paulie throws down there. It is, you won't back them up. Like, I give my reasonings, you know what I mean? And I'm very indulgent of the audience's, questions, because, like, where am I without, like, the feedback from that? Like, I'm always confused by hosts who seem to be disconnected from the idea that they should, of exploring what people, have as an idea, of exploring what people are saying in the chat about the movie, at least once or here and there. Especially with the Snow White thing, when people are questioning whether or not she's really beautiful, and also questioning whether or not it's, even a feasible thing that that her career would go on. And, your take is that it's a 60% good movie, and that she's got a chance to win an Academy Award. I mean, don't you think that, like, those statements need to be backed up to a degree, with some reasoning? Like, I thought it was a 6 because of this.
If you look at Snow White anyway, if we're arguing on if she's good looking, and we're completely leaving out her
she's
skin,
not ugly.
Her skin was not as white as snow. I mean,
no, she didn't look like Snow White, and she wasn't. And when she parsed the way Latino people are in a way that made me sick. And I'm Latino. You are too. You're Hispanic.
Yeah.
I'm Hispanic. You know what? It's funny. I found out I tested positive for Latino DNA, and then coincidentally enough, I was also Hispanic.
That statement didn't make it sound good.
Yeah, well, I mean, what was funny was I tested for Latinx and it came back negative. Thank God, right? Ooh. There's no such thing. Yeah, you know what? I'll highlight it, but yeah, I won't say that word out loud. But yeah, that was their problem. But the thing is, it is like a German-esque, like Dutch or German fairy tale. It's like from like Bavaria or some shit like that. So, I mean, it's cultural appropriation on one thing, but question: what is Snow White's actual name? In this movie, her name is Snow White. In this movie, her name is Snow White, unless you mean Rachel Ziegler. Snow White is her name because she was born during a blizzard, and she had the perseverance and power of like a force of nature, is what they say. And then, like, I mean, the thing about the Snow White movie is in 10 years or something like that, if you throw it in like a machine and just have a kid watch it, a kid might enjoy that in like 10 years, but like no one was in the mood to sit through it. But like the songs,
we sure her name isn't Snow Farquaad?
She did have the Lord Farquaad haircut in some of the scenes. I think, like, I don't know whether that was the reshoot. The actress name, not the actress name, the character's name. I don't know. I mean, in this movie, her name is Snow White. They explain it to us with some Snow White lore.
Oh man.
Yeah, Sleeping Beauty has a name, exactly. Yeah, because Sleeping Beauty is a trait, and Snow White. I think in the story Snow White might actually have the name Snow White as well, but they have a different reason for it. I think she was just very fair skinned, and I think maybe the blizzard thing is part of the story.
She got caught out in the sun too long.
Sleeping Beauty's name is Aurora. I think you're right. I gotta admit, like with these Disney great classic cartoons, I saw them like with my parents, and it was a beautiful experience to be a little kid watching with your parents. But like, we didn't have like ways to replay movies when I was really young. By the time we had ways to replay movies, and my parents invested in the tech, I was watching the Star Trek movies over and over. We had like the first 3 of them on video, and just watched them over and over, back to back.
Mine was called recording things with VHS.
Yes, I recorded things with VHS once I got it, but I'm a little older than you, Krimlon. I was born in 1893. But no, you know what? Just a little. I was there with Spencer Dutton when he wouldn't get on a plane and just fly home from Texas. When one of the bigger holes really that I want to make a small video about is like 1923's glaring omission. That even though they were refreshed with people from other areas, and the unit did see combat early in the war, the unit was still so heavily associated with New York, and it took 50% of all its casualties, or 80% of all its casualties during that one campaign. And we take half of our World War II casualties in that Meuse-Argonne campaign. That was a big freaking deal. I don't know. Did you know about this thing? Have you heard about this? We have brand new news here, guys, from October 1918. The Meuse-Argonne campaign was a big deal. It finally breaks the back of the German war machine and ends World War I. Spencer is in that sequence, and it's great. For a small-scale war sequence, it's pretty good. It shows us his brutality and his warrior fierceness. Dude, he takes out like a bunch of guys with the heavy machine gun, and then they're like all over him. And he takes out a couple of guys with the shotgun until he's out of rounds. Then, like, stabs one guy, gets, like, a pistol out of the other guy's hand, blows a couple of guys away, and then, like, the last guy is, like, jump him. He throws, like, one guy off of him, picks up his helmet, and just, like, bashes the one guy's head, like, right in, and, like, with the next move, just, like, takes out the other guys. It was great. It was awesome.
That's definitely a Snow White movie I could get behind.
Oh, that's 1923. If we can combine 1923 and Snow White... Snow White and the Huntsman didn't even have action that good.
No kidding.
Isn't it weird how all Snow White projects are kind of cursed? Kirsten Stewart got into like a romantic relationship with the director of the Snow White movie because she was coming off the relationship with Team Edward, and she ended up having like an affair with this guy, and she couldn't be in her own sequel.
So that's why she wasn't in it.
Right, that's why she wasn't in it. And Jessica Chastain was in it instead.
I mean, Hemsworth nailed it, though.
Oh, I have seen some live-action Lilo. I did think he was good in that. It was a watchable movie. I took my nephew to it because we needed to see a movie. We needed to go see a movie, but we just wanted to hang out. I wanted to, take him somewhere, so we went to the movies. But yeah, I have seen the trailers for the live-action Lilo and Stitch. It looks good. The special effects are really good. Yeah, the special effects are good. If you like Lilo and Stitch, it looks like this movie has a high chance of pleasing you. And I don't know if it's going to change Disney's fortunes. It maybe it can help them leverage another loan. I don't know. You tell me. Snow White was...
I can tell you that right now.
Snow White was supposed to have a sister, Rose Red. The Disney project to make Rose Red movie was dropped in favor of Snow Ziegler. I guess Rose Red was the lucky sister. That movie would have fared so much better. It wouldn't have had any of the controversy. You couldn't have said anything about Rose Red that would have made people angry. Not for long, at least. It would have been manageable.
Yeah, well, the fact that it had red in the name, you'd know that they'd end up changing that. They'd do a race swap also.
Yeah, I mean, but the thing is, we haven't seen Rose Red in the movie, so it wouldn't matter, right?
I mean, look what they did with Little Mermaid, so...
But like I'm saying, like if she's just this character out of nowhere, yeah, it would be preposterous. But it's not Snow White. That's what I'm saying. Like the better move would have been Rose Red. Rose Red wouldn't have lost as much money. And also, by the way, anyone calling Rachel Ziegler beautiful and saying that she, has a great voice and could win an Academy Award needs to explain why Selena Gomez wouldn't have been a better choice for the movie too.
Well, I mean,
yeah, she's 31. Big deal.
Sound pretty good as far as singing.
She
goes.
can sing. She has a good singing voice.
Else goes, oof, just a mess.
She can sing. And I enjoyed her straight ahead singing approach. That she had the guts to have no vocal fry and not do any dumb modern stuff.
Uh-oh.
I'm not frozen. You hear me, right?
Has this become the
I see my
show?
StreamYard's No, Kremlin, I'm here. I see my bubble popping. Can you not hear me? Guys, can you hear me?
Let's see here.
Musargon campaign. An artillery captain, Henry Truman, develops a hatred for the Marine Corps.
A hatred for Marine Corps over the fact the Army didn't do a good job publicizing Army involvement, whereas the Marines starred. Yeah. As former Army, yeah, Marines don't exist. They're a figment of everyone's imagination.
Come on, you can't hear me?
Teague.
Really?
You broke your stuff again.
I don't, but my bubble is popping in the StreamYards lab. Hold on.
As we used to say in the Army, muscles are required, intelligence not essential. And that's just coming from opinion. Opinion. Teague's bubble is popping.
My bubble is popping.
This has become the Kremlin show.
Can you hear me now?
We can hear you.
Now you can?
You're starring in your own cell phone commercial now.
Okay. That was weird because you see the little bubble that pops around my avatar? That was going the whole time. So the idea that no one could hear me but my bubble would still be popping was crazy. I don't know. It was definitely a StreamYards anomaly, but maybe it was on you? I don't know. Chat, let me know. Let's see. Muse Argon campaign, as you said, artillery captain Harry Truman. I wonder if he goes on to do anything else. Develops a hatred for the Marine Corps over the fact that the Army didn't do a good job publicizing Army involvement, whereas the Marines starred. Yeah, you know what
that's lies.
You know what my biological father was kind of a madman until he got cleaned up and off of drugs and alcohol, and it's a good thing for everybody to do. He got off of it, and he had 30 quality years of life after that. But for the first 15 years after Vietnam, he was fucking mass, right? And when I met him, he had it together for a long time, and I was like, you ever see Full Metal Jacket? He's like, what? I see a movie about a bunch of damn Marines. How do they pull off so much and do so much with 5 cameramen with every Marine? How do they do that? That's a deployment miracle. So he was Army, Kremlin. He was in the Army.
Yeah.
He was a combat engineer.
Sure, combat engineer, yes. Wasn't a tanker.
He said that being a combat engineer would be easier, in a sense morally he wouldn't have to feel as responsible for directly being as part of he'd be defusing mines and helping his friends. He didn't realize it included setting mines and going into the tunnels.
Yeah.
It's by looking for the most pacifistic military job, he ended up with the worst one. The most aggressive one. It's nah, there you go.
Yeah, there's nothing like
Teague Senior. Grab this handgun and jump into that tunnel. Yeah, let's see. So the people we've had a lot of time to vote as we get ready to land this space shuttle. Fantastic Four. Which looks first? Fantastic Four, Superman, Thunderbolts, and it's Fantastic Four. Just run away with it. It's Fantastic Four's day. 24 votes. Certainly scientifically viable for our community, and we seem to have just a plurality for Thunderbolts. Thunderbolts basically is bringing up second place. I just think we have maybe a Marvel bias on the channel in the sense that we like Marvel maybe more than we like DC, which is not Doomcock but DC Comics. We love Doomcock.
Movies, their live action movies have just been horrible for such a long time. I mean, the animated movies are great. The storylines are there. you can't really go too bad with the quality of the animation. But yeah, compared to the live action, oof.
Yeah, woof woof. I would also say just the Fantastic Four is like it almost isn't live action. Some of those uncanny scenes with the Thing, and this retrofuturism might be just a cover up that they shot a lot of it in the volume, because if it looks uncanny and weird, while it's looking all uncanny and weird anyway, it's like the only compliment I would give him is he realized that it already looked uncanny and weird, so lean into it. Or they put they just you stunt cast enough people, you get the right guy to put together a phony weird environment for your stunt cast movie. I don't know what to tell you. It's really strange, but wow, we had a show with 17 new members. It's been a while since we added that many on, and we made it to 20 likes. Can we get to 21? If there's anyone out there who hasn't hit like, please hit like for me. And if you're coming through later or even after the stream when I'm done, you can do a couple of things before you leave the comment to sort of make the comment pop more, like hitting refresh. And then you can just go ahead and leave a comment. And it'll help me grow. It'll help my stream. Right now, we're just like weekdays, kind of crazy. I still have a real life. I'm not a full-time YouTuber yet, sooner or later. But you know what? For now, I think we got a pretty quality show. We've pondered 1923. The last question is, we've talked about this one every time, but I'll say it again. I don't think that movie that event would have survived a week's more scrutiny with him not getting home at all. Get the hell out of here.
Yeah, God no.
And did it seem like they moved it around to bring home him getting forward to hour one?
I think what was our initial guess was end of episode 7, beginning of episode 8, that they would have him getting home.
I said that was the most likely worst case.
Yeah, we were fairly close. I mean, them merging.
They changed stuff around because we were probably right.
Yeah.
We were probably so right that they had to pull the event of him getting home into the last 10 minutes of the first hour.
Yeah, I think a lot of people would have been angry about that.
I think that's why we find Jack's body later. Didn't we move that to hour 2?
Yeah, I think so.
We sort of helicoptered back to the Yellowstone to spend more time with the ladies. That was like and then Germ is determined that the Marshall Fawcett thing was an error. That the reason why she shoots that deputy is because they forgot to put him in the courthouse scene. But I'm like, why would he need to be there? But why would he need to be there?
Well, I still go back based off of the fact of how I'm pretty sure they just let him get killed and ignored the fact that he.
That's my biggest problem with the whole show, though. It's 1923, not 1823. She killed a federal marshal in front of 2 other federal marshals. Slam dunk electric chair.
Yeah, but they were both guardians. The other one that got killed was just a typical white guy.
It was just he was a oppressor. He had it coming, and he was the only honorable marshal too. They were like, we should just let her go. Yeah, let's let her go. The Guardian and Marshall Fawcett are like, we should let her go. And he's like, we have a warrant, and she killed like 5 people, and we have 5 more bodies. She might have killed 10 people, and like, it'll be fine. It's like critical drinker logic right in the movie. Why'd they let her go for killing the marshal? Don't know. You know what? I might just say that in my review. I think people understand what that means now. What do you think? Would people let me get away with that one?
I'm sure you could get away with it.
What? Why is it okay that they kill that she deletes the deputy and no one cares? Don't know. Just lean into this. Just do the Scottish accent. Why? Don't know.
Don't even think too much about it. It just ends up hurting your head.
You know, I just feel that like he's established that as a good fast forward device. It's like, you know what? Like he's added to the language. So magical bullshit device and don't know are definitely 2 things that have made it like. But like, how many people have just done the Scottish accent when asked to describe a movie? It's like, so how'd that happen? It's like, don't know. That's kind of one of his trademark things, though. I don't know. I will say this. I'm looking forward to Strange New Worlds. I call it Strange New Lows. It is Star Trek out of whack, and I made a commercial for it. Kremlin, I made a commercial for this fine, new show.
Yeah, Stranger New Gaze.
Yeah, check out the commercial. I made this commercial for Tony's show. Check it out. Hey everybody, it's your buddy Admiral Teague. I salute you all, and I thank everyone who's joined me for epic pop culture adventures, reviews, news, live streams, and video essays. It's my honor to host the ultimate Star Trek watch party every Saturday night, boldly going to the final frontier with co-hosts Sean Carter, JT Kirk, and Resolute Germ. You won't find a better Star Trek experience on YouTube or anywhere else. Plus, don't miss Sci-Fi CSI, where we forensically dissect the zombie that is modern Star Trek. Their stuff may be rough, but our watch parties and reviews, oh, it's a blast. I also dive into the MCU, DC, Star Wars, shows like Landman in 1923 from Taylor Sheridan. And you can catch me live on Tuesdays and Thursday evenings here on the East Coast, or increasingly Fridays. We have weekly uploads that bring one of the most unique and exciting approaches to channel content you'll ever see. Expect watch parties, deep dives, and more. From the wild frontier of 1923 to the final frontier of the 23rd century and beyond, I've got you covered. So join me. You will be well treated. And hit those like and follow buttons for my buddy, Stark of Iron. I'll see you out there. Think. Hey, you're muted, Kremlin. This was my favorite part of this.
Oh yeah.
I put the most work into this. This is the tile I'm most proud of. I made it for the Section 31 watch party. As you can see, it is the Star Trek CSI, Sci-Fi CSI show. It's coming back, Kremlin. This show's coming back. Star Trek CSI is coming back.
You need to have a picture of Sydney Sweeney hanging up in the top right corner.
Well, this guy was... he didn't like girls, this character. So what I did was I put the strong women of Star Trek on... New Star Trek on the screen. As you can see, we have our progress flag right where the progress bar would be, because you need your progress flag. It's New Trek, right? So that's his dashboard bling. Or it's the progress bar for his progress flag. He's like, we've got almost full progress, Captain. Turn on the progress engines. Then we got Rachel Garrett, reduced to an asshole in this, down there at the bottom.
Part of reducing to an asshole, is that a part of the progress flag?
Yeah, well, maybe that's what the circle in the middle of it's for. I don't fucking know. But then above that is Michelle. Yo, Michelle, what up? She is also part of the Progress and Pride. She's a strong old woman. And then, of course, on the left, the third of the Holy Trinity, Mikey Spock. But I was super proud of this tile. I spent so much time working on this. I broke through so many things that I didn't know how to do. Remember, this is going to be a tiny tile. I spent so much time filling in around Mikey Spock with the fill tool, rebuilding the monitor after I dropped her picture in there. This was a work of a labor of love, ladies and gentlemen, making the Star Trek CSI or Sci-Fi CSI logo. And Sci-Fi CSI is coming back on Friday nights to watch New Trek.
I'm curious if you were to type in those same settings in there for this into ChatGPT to see what kind of pictures they would get for you.
What, for Sci-Fi CSI?
Yeah.
I'm the only admiral I'm the only Star Trek channel that puts no Star Trek in their commercials, and I'm the only admiral who shows only generals. One day I'll have to work on that. They'll make a movie about an admiral that's good. Here's the Sci-Fi CSI shtick, though. We've got cocaine in my commercial.
Woo.
Yeah. Paramount, they're part of everything we do. I finally found a way to keep from getting attacked. Maybe I can slowly rebuild. And Crazy K, thank you. Yeah, you know what? We got a bunch of new members tonight thanks to Crazy K and Crimlon. Crimlon, thank you so much for adding to the community. I really appreciate it. You did a great job on 1923, too. You came up with the best joke and the name of the series MVP and the best villain that we had. Of course, I'm talking of none other than our pal, the Joker Wolf. I've said it so many times, I'm good at it now. The Joker Wolf. It's a tongue twister at first, but Joker Wolf was the best. That was the best one episode villain we had, wasn't he?
I think so.
And of course, Mr. House Party.
I mean,
we
did
didn't
a
see the
disservice
moment
on that
they
one.
died. They gypped us on that one. I wanted to see Mr. Joker Wolf get it. Yeah. And you know what would have been even better is if you saw that, like, the death of the Joker Wolf, and then, like, as when they left the room and came back, like, the Joker Wolf was gone. There was just some bloody cards. Right?
The bloody cards with the Joker emblem on it. But
yeah, he had his lucky deck with him still. Just lost a couple of cards.
Yeah, they had his wolf instead of a regular human head.
Well, I mean, I think I showed everyone this. I have the cards from Trump Casino.
Yeah, I think you showed that.
I did. I did when Zelensky didn't have the cards. I said, I do. Robert Mitchum is Bo Halsey and Glenn Ford is Spruance. Is that in the original Midway? Yeah, in that movie, it's like for most of the movie, all they do is stand around and talk on the phone or drive around and talk to people or talk to each other and push stuff around on a map. Only the... and Robert Mitchum's in a hospital bed, but it's a good movie. I like the first. The first Midway movie is more of a codebreaker detective movie. The Roland Emmerich one wasn't that bad. I know people are going to say it was probably bad, but I did not think the Roland Emmerich one was all that bad. Crimon, have you seen the Roland Emmerich Midway movie?
Oh, goodness. I'm trying to remember it. Is this the one from a few years ago?
Yeah, it's from 2020, I think, or 2019. He got the money from the Chinese to make this movie, so... Like, here's the thing. With a World War II Pacific Theater movie, and he's not an American, Roland Emmerich is German, his ability to make the movie was like, think about this for a minute. He can't get the money from Hollywood anymore. He's German. The Japanese are, the object of being the enemy in this movie. The Chinese are down to give him money to put this movie into American cinemas with Japanese. I think the stipulation was they cannot be good guys and they cannot be honorable. And this is one of the only war movies that's freed of that trope. They are not honorable and they're not good guys. In the 2020 or 2019 Midway by Roland Emmerich, which has a decent sized budget because of the Chinese contribution, there's a Doolittle raid in it that's well visualized that the movie didn't need at all, just because when you take money from Japan, some of the movie has to occur when you take money from the Chinese, some of the movie has to occur in China. Did you know that?
Makes sense.
Yeah. So I think that's how The Martian has that sequence that happens in China for like no reason. But what do you call it? The movie has to take place, some of it in China. So they have the Doolittle raid go down, the end of the raid, the planes ditching in the sea in China, and Doolittle getting arrested. I forget who played Doolittle. Oh, it was Aaron Eckhart, and he did a good job. But
yeah, I remember this.
Yeah, the attack sequence on Pearl Harbor was really good, and Doris Miller fighting back was really good. And we had some what I call war porn and combat porn. We had that was a pretty damn good visualization of the attack on Pearl Harbor, in my opinion. What do you think?
It was very giggity.
That was an exciting attack, man. I was down. It's like I knew that was one of the few times I knew the U.S. was going to lose. Where I was like, this is awesome. And they did some of the historical events, like passing the people from the flight school.
Spoiler alert! You're not supposed to tell me that we lost that battle. Come on.
Oh, I'm sorry. Well, I mean, if it makes you feel any better, we won the... damn, I just ruined Band of Brothers. I have now episodes 1 and 2 of Band of Brothers. I think gonna reconvene the what do you call it? Reconvene the 1923 people to watch a few episodes of Band of Brothers.
Such a good show.
You know what? We could watch it with the audience and then review it for an hour. It might be fun.
Sounds like fun to
And
me.
it's not a mini series anymore, so we could just review it. And it seems to me it's a coming of age movie for a coming of age thing for a lot of channels. We've done a lot of war movies. We've done Patton. I want to get back to Fury, but maybe less controversial Band of Brothers first, where we see heroic Americans winning the war the way we actually did, rather than some of these weird revisionist history movies where, like, everyone knows I have a huge problem with Fury because I say it's too damn dark for an almost over World War II in Europe movie.
Lies.
That movie exists in the last 72 hours of the war.
It was a great tanker movie.
The tankers were scumbags.
Yes, that's how we all are.
You know what?
If everyone couldn't tell, yes, I was a tanker in the army. So
I gotta be honest, Buddy Hepburn, he was good as Nimitz, and his role in the movie. I have this thing I call the Woody Harrelson factor. If Woody Harrelson gets to 20 minutes in your movie, you got to stop, or you'll ruin your movie. You'll tank it at 21 minutes. Only Woody Harrelson movies can have more than 20 minutes of Woody Harrelson. So Midway has like 25 minutes. He's only annoying for 5 minutes of the movie. The movie is still way worth it for the combat scenes. And we seem to have a wave of people coming in. Welcome to Admiral Teags show. I've got my buddy Krimwan with you. Hit those like and follow buttons, and
So
we're
you're
just bringing
saying
you our perspective.
there can be too much Woody.
You can have, yeah, you know what? Woody Harrelson lasting more than 3 hours, he needs to go consult a doctor.
Oof.
Yeah. I mean, it happens. And also, there are health implications to it. But, Woody Harrelson lasting more than 3 hours, see your doctor. But they use him pretty much the correct way in this movie. He's just back in Washington telling them to be brave. He's not at the tip of the spear. He's not a tip of the spear character. He's back behind the lines. He's in Washington making phone calls and telling people to be brave. The nuts and bolts stuff is what's his name? The father of the guy from The Boys, ex-husband of Meg Ryan. His name is freaking escaping me. Dennis Quaid is Bull Halsey, and I forget who. I think after that we just stick with we don't go with our commanders anymore. We stick with our crews, and they leave the commanders to the other movie. And Woody Harrelson is the guy running the code breaking operation. That's what he's back in Hawaii trying to get things together at Pearl. He's not in DC, but it's pretty much the same thing. He's working with the code breakers. He's talking to them, and he's just pretty much quarterbacking the part of the movie where they're breaking the code, and that's more or less the same. And they got a really good lookalike for the guy who played the head code breaker in the original one, the guy from $6 Million Man. They got a good lookalike for him. Like Rollin was trying for it. And in the movie, Nick Jonas shows us that he should have been Han Solo because he's got the swagger in that movie as the tail gunner on that what was it, TBF Avenger.
Yeah, he did a pretty good job on that one. I completely forgot he was in that.
Remember when he spit the cigarette into the Japanese officer's face and they threw him overboard to complete their act of dishonor?
Oh yes, my wife was very upset with that part.
That part was emotional. The 2019 movie delivers. The thing is, it's not as good as it thinks it is. Roland Emmerich thinks it's the movie Gettysburg, and the end is like the end of Gettysburg with the historical figures morphing into the people in the movie, and they're not as good likenesses as Gettysburg, so it wasn't as good. We will be on Band of Brothers. Masters of the Air, you can skip it. Watch the episodes with the combat in them, and then when the combat seems to taper off, just drop out. Some of them escape, some of them don't. It sucked. It kind of sucked. Not to diminish the contributions of the Army Air Corps and it might be true that that's war. But during the combat scenes in a movie where you have air-to-air combat, this is exciting stuff. But to make it character-driven, Kremlin, listen to this. We have World War II bomber pilots and bomber crews going on missions, right? Long-range missions. Brave stuff of legend to be sure. But in combat, they wear leather jumpsuits with leather hoods and masks and goggles. And all they do is breathe, and when they talk, their voices are all uniform, more or less, because they go through a compressed military-style mic, and so they're being slavishly realistic. So realistic it hurts the movie. They needed to give them richer voices and have someone paint something on the back of their jacket and have someone have some personality on their uniform, because when they go into combat, we have, say, 4 crews, and there's a bunch of guys in each plane. So we have been introduced to 4 pilots. We've been introduced to 16 gunners and 4 bombardiers. You know what I'm saying? So, and 4 radio men who are also gunners. So we're supposed to track all this and know who they are. There's a lot of fucking characters. Then when we go into combat, the combat scenes are pretty good, but people are getting shot, people getting killed. I'm like, the guy in the mask, who I have no idea who it is dead. I just know it's not one of the pilot characters. Oh, a pilot has died. I wonder which one it will be. And at the end, when they make it to the end of the mission and they say who made it and who didn't, the only thing you can go on is maybe that's war. But it's not great for a freaking movie. Ooh, hey, we got some Yellowstone brands going on and people celebrating being channel members. I want to thank everyone who contributed to the channel today and made people channel members. Thank you so much. I made some channel member content yesterday, and then tomorrow I'm going to try to make that final Yellowstone video. I think it might have to be mostly commentary and not as much video, huh? There's not a lot to really show from that last episode anyway. It's yes, they take their revenge. Yes, they make it home.
Dies. That's the
Alex dies.
Alex finally dies.
She's in bed. She's laying in bed dead. She didn't make it. I uploaded my special cut of Midway to the Internet Archive, the Wayback Machine. Cool. That was a good movie, but it was very much of its time. It was made on such a budget. All of the special effects were, and hello, Jason Love. All the special effects were, there were no special effects. There was only one carrier, and all the combat scenes were gun cam of various grade and various states of decay. And so the movie's just jumping all over the place as far as film quality. The 2019, I think it is, Roland Emmerich one, that movie, the combat scenes, man, they're freaking awesome. When that guy blows up the carrier, spoiler alert, we win the battle. Yes, that was the Nick Jonas character. It was Bruno Guido, tail gunner around the SPD Dauntless. And yes, hail back to you, my friend. It's good to see you. Raging out. And it's good to see everyone here. Thank you for coming. Guys, hit those like and follow buttons. We're getting a nice, strong analytic tonight. And I think with 1923, we sort of said it all. I am at loggerheads. I can't give it any higher than a B+, the whole experience. Season 2 is better than Season 1. There's no two ways about it. And they could have gone 2 more episodes if he was only going to get back to... It was good. It was well paced for 10 episodes. It was not well paced for 8. Season 2, was it?
Yeah, I didn't like the pacing at all.
And it had streaming blues. It didn't make it as far as episode 3 was a letdown. Episode 4 was huge. Episode 5 had far less developments. It did the streaming show thing. And I think they were going to do it again in episode 7 or something. Episode 7 was set up to be so slow and uneventful with him just talking to that kid in the train. We would have been enraged. We needed that story to be over with, or we would have gone completely crazy, Kremlin.
Yeah, I think
the one night event was by far the best call of the whole.
I think they did a good job by merging those 2 episodes.
They had to.
The pacing towards the end of this season.
And then they get frantic at the end in the final episode.
Yes.
If we had a long scene with Alex dying, what we needed to do is find a way to pull lose the talk with the kid, lose the lion's tooth bullshit, lose the other stuff, pull Spencer getting to Bozeman 10 minutes even further into episode 1 or part 1 of the 2 hours, have him get there in hour 40, use all the dialogue, and you made a poor choice, I guess. It should have been talking to Harrison Ford about how he misses his father and how, like, he better not have killed his brother, or I'm sorry, his nephew. Jack better not be dead. You know, Jack better not be dead. Because I don't, or does he know when he gets back? He knows Jack is dead because they've already they talk about it while he's at the train station. After that gunfight ends, they didn't interweave the stories as much in part 2 as they did in part 1. But then again, everyone was just in the same place. Finally, part 1 was again really interwoven. The Marshall Fawcett thing was like a useless add-on. That story gets the most criticism of all because of the way it ended. It ended so bad. That could have ended with just her walking to the horse and getting on and riding away. We didn't need anything leading up to it. In 1923, John Dillinger killed less people because he had a gang. The Dillinger gang had 17 victims. She had as many as 10 and 1 federal marshal. The presence of the Marshall Fawcett character destroyed that show's genre and drove it from historical fiction to historical fantasy. It did irreparable changes to the show. I don't know about damage, but it changed it. Changed it a lot. It wasn't damaged in the sense that he got what he wanted, the producer, the guy who wrote it all, but it wasn't very good for the show. Yeah, Midway 76 did steal from Tora, and Japanese film Storm of the Pacific, as well as Navy archive footage. Is Storm of the Pacific? Was that the part that was cut in, or was that that film? I thought that the Japanese segment of the movie was filmed much better and was much. And Kurosawa was like the director, I think, of the Japanese part, but I didn't know if it was its own independent movie. I thought that was filmed for Midway. I thought that was filmed for the movie Midway, but I could be wrong. Because I think, then again, some of the Japanese parts are directed differently because the parts where they're out at sea don't have some of the cast in them. It's interesting. I don't know. I'm going to have to do more research on that one. Or Mark could just tell me. Mark's typing away frantically. Let's see if he does this. Guys, I'm going to be back tomorrow at a special time in the afternoon when I can, we had a really fruitful Friday afternoon last week. So listen to us, be on in the afternoon, about 5 minutes after things get going in Canada. It's about 5 after 3 Eastern. That other show will be on before I kick off because I am not getting swarmed again. And I think I found out a little bit about swarm prevention tonight, finally. Crimlon, you know about smart guy stuff. If I polarize my hull by making an unembeddable link, they all have to be unembeddable, right? Someone could go back and find an earlier version of it that's embeddable and use it, can't they?
I'd have to research it. That sounds logical.
It sounds logical, right? Yeah. The embeddable link, you gotta, it has to be unembeddable from the bat. We found that one out. Oh, well. Hey, guys, thanks for being here. I'll be back in only 15 hours to entertain and amuse. And Resolute Germ will be back with me again. Hit those like and follow buttons. And everyone, including my buddy Kyle Cullen, who comes through later. I thank all the people who come through and watch the show later on. Thank you to the people who were so generous as to join us. And wow, we are getting yet another raid. It's late show effect. You know what? I'll unwrap up the show and just for 1 minute here. Hey, when you go up to 14 people, you buy back the goodbye. Let's see if it spikes down again. It's been so weird. I found there is an ending the show effect, but now it's did Tony end his show? Is that why this is on fire? Hey, RRTNZ, you live long and prosper too. If we can put on a few more likes, I can stick around. We're at 16. Can we get me to 20? New guys, if you want to hear some pop culture news and information and maybe take a stab at some ideas on that terrible Fantastic Four trailer. They got to stop dropping trailers. That trailer today may have been the end. That may have been the end. Will you go see that movie after that?
Oh God, no. But
Yeah.
hearing how it was ending up to begin with before that trailer, it just confirmed what I was already feeling about it. It was going to be bad.
Is it possible to do a trade-off? Like, can I go see Thunderbolts and just watch Fantastic Four on the high seas to satisfy my debt? This way I don't have to truly suffer as much.
Oof. Well, suffering's a part of YouTubing, so you may end up having to go to it nonetheless.
Oof. Well, I gotta be honest, because the channel is into the Falcon Man review, and we have new methods of protecting the channel from getting attacked now, I'm into doing another Falcon Man review with as far as Thunderbolts, because I think it's going to be strongly related to Falcon Man, and try to like repair the Eternals and other fucked up movies even more. Who knows what's going to happen in Thunderbolts? I bet you Shang-Chi shows up. I bet you there's a Shang-Chi reference.
Probably a good chance because he's supposed to be in the new Avengers movie.
Why would he be an Avenger? Why would he be an Avenger? Why would Shang-Chi ever be an Avenger? It's like they're making the same mistakes. Like they're not backing off their philosophy, even though they know it's money killing, and so they're trying to do stuff where they're still determined that they will be the ones who can tell us what is good. They're still determined to that. They will not back off. Like, we'll tell you what's good. We're up to 17. Come on, guys. Give me a couple more likes, please. Help me out. I gotta get to 20. That's my goal. I gotta make it to 20 likes, guys. Gee, come on. Let me get 20 likes, please. I'll do anything.
Than that. Better begging.
What's better begging? It's very important that the channel get 20 likes. I found out that I can take the extra likes and give them the smaller channels to help them grow. I also need everyone who comes through later to leave me a comment, or if you're here when the stream ends, you refresh that bad boy and just like leave me an emoji or something like that. Because things have been really weird in the world of YouTube lately, guys. Be careful and with your commenting and stuff like that. Something weird is going on with the algorithm again. Like stick with emojis for a couple of days. People got in trouble for things that make no sense. I heard some crazy stuff. Let's see. Tora was filmed with 2 crews. Storm Over the Pacific was a 1961 Toshiro Mifune film. Okay, yeah, so it was like I thought. Because it was possible you could have combined another movie into that and just done a third shoot. But strike hard, strike first, and show the like button, no mercy. Thank you, Jason Love. Yes, strike the Cobra Kai command. Strike often, and strike because you can, and strike a blow against bad storytelling. I'm your buddy, Admiral Teague. I'm not asking for anything but likes, and we got Patton and the American flag. I had to go put an American flag as a channel emoji because YouTube doesn't have one. YouTube doesn't have one. You know what flag they do have is the pride flag.
But
what's the justification there?
Cool? That's the pride flag too.
You know what?
Proud. I mean, I don't know.
As a what do you call it? Son of the Grand Army of the Potomac? Or no, I'm sorry, the Son of the Army of the Republic, I think it's called. It's on both. They're in both. But my ancestors fought for the North, so it's like kind of like I see the American flag as like the ultimate winner. You know what I mean? Like I've never like the rebel flag's cool. You know, I don't have any problems with it. Like you go ahead and have like your state pride or whatever. But you know, like I did like that meme. It's like, you want a rebel flag? Try one with a winning record. Like that was pretty cool because like to go up against the British, they were not like at the end of our Civil War. Like there was still a chance that these officers who knew each other were going to show each other mercy and try to work it out in a military way, which what they did. They gave each other military pardons in a lot of cases before courts could get in on it. Although, like, they did throw Robert E. Lee on trial and shit like that. Although I think he was one of the first people to ask for his citizenship back until I think they gave him good treatment because he told his men to like put down their guns and burn their flags. He's like, it's over. We tried. We just didn't win. We should just go back to being Americans again. Just something if they could do that after that battle. I think after a divisive election, we could all go back to being Americans again. Could we please calm down? a little bit. I love that everyone's having fun with it, but the super focus, like, this isn't getting us anywhere.
We will win. We will win. We will win. We won't rest. We won't rest. We won't rest. We won't rest.
The good news, guys, if you're on the left, I guess it only gets better from that moment, because that is there a weaker image ever? The absolute nadir of the American Democratic Party right there, falling down in the middle of your show of strength while someone pumps their cane because they cannot walk in the foreground of the picture, and forgetting your chance and starting it over. That is the absolute nadir of our society. It can only get better from there. My God, whether they change out the people at the top or just go away altogether, anything's better than the Schumercrats that we've had. There's been some crazy stuff. Does that list of characters like ticking box to anyone? Yeah. It's like the way we tick the box by sending a bunch of chicks into space. I guess we'll end where we began. Chicks in space. A lot of familiar facelifts up there, Kremlin. Did you notice that like the two Latino ladies had the same face work done? And they kind of looked the same. And you had to try to look where their names were, but their hair extensions were over it. It was like the most glamorous like astronaut crew in the world. Like, we're astronauts. It's like, there's been a lot of debate about this. You go right up to that line where astronauts happen and no further, and you achieve nothing. And a lot of people have had a lot to say about whether or not they're really astronauts.
They just go into the mesosphere. That's not even really outer space.
I think they went up to the Van Halen belts and danced the night away. I think that's what. Did they make it to the Van Halen belts? I don't know. And is Eddie Van Halen still up there in the Van Halen belt? So he may not be with us on Earth anymore, ladies and gentlemen, but he's up there in the sky. When you see movies like Hidden Figures about women contributing to the space program in a meaningful way, I don't know if it's the best movie, but at least it was like more or less true and more or less made sense. But yeah. You know what? It's time to stop ticking boxes. You know what? Subvert my expectations by making a good movie. And we will see you guys tomorrow in the afternoon. Until then, hey, remember.
The word decent doesn't apply to me.
All right, guys. Well, it's been a great show. And I want to thank everyone for being here. Jeez, General, sir. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to go on. All right. I'm going to give everyone Sydney Sweeney and let them get out of here. What do you think, Kribon?
Woo! The Sids.
Sydney Sweeney. Before I go, though, I got to, once again, this show is brought to you by the insanity of the pop culture world, the dedication of the panel, and the generosity of fans like Kribon. And RRTNZ, who deserves to have his chat hearted. I heart your chat, RRTNZ. And JT Kirk, a member for 14 months, as long as you can be. Mr. House Party 6 with 5 Admiral Teague memberships. Thank you so much. And Crazy K, thank you so much for the 5 Admiral Teague gift memberships. I really do appreciate it. Krimlon with 5 more. We put on a whole bunch of members. I would love to get 20 likes to come through later. Give it a like. Help me get over the mark there. Let's get it up to like 30 with all the people who come through later. I love you all. And hit those like and follow buttons. And we'll be back in 15 hours. Here she is. She's beautiful. She's gorgeous. She's seductive. And the Rolling Stones let her pick her own wardrobe for this Kremlin. Here we go. It's Sydney Sweeney, guys. We love you all. See you tomorrow.